period of time, and it's still coming. The rain just keeps falling.
Lightning, a big part of this storm. We have not seen a ton of power outages. I would describe them as isolated, but we will continue to watch the Entergy outage maps. Got any questions from Facebook?
We have South Park should not approach the underpasses there. Thank you so much, Tommy, for that. South Park area, Beaumont, don't approach the underpasses. People working at Target, please do not drive if water is over those roads. Some are supposed to be in at 5:30 a.m. So once again, you know, people are still kind of wondering, okay, maybe can I get to work in the morning? Is
it going to let up?
Yeah, but no, this is going to go on for, Patrick said, for probably another 10 hours.
If that model is right.
I suspect, I do suspect that we'll see more of the school administrators wake up and sort of realize they may need to make some quick decisions. Justin Vargas says he has a test at 8 a.m. at Lamar, Port Arthur. Not sure you can make it from Lumberton. I would hope your professor understands.
Give you a pass on this one. Just reschedule the test.
Some video. This is a feature we use from time to time. A lot of you younger folks love Snapchat, and these are snaps that have been posted.
This is from Stoll.
You never know what you're going to see there, guys, so I'd be especially careful.
This is Winnie, about 32 minutes ago, and you can see the lightning strikes there. You know, headlights. This person is trying to figure out just how high the water is there.
All right, so we'll monitor those and check the feed in just a bit as we see what's happening there in Winnie. New pics coming in from one of our colleagues who is checking on things near Settlers Cove. And you can see up to the carports. Looks like most of the apartments, at least in this photo, are in decent shape, but people have tried to move their cars to higher ground.
This car is parked up on the grass.
Okay, our producers are talking to us. Some of the residents there have been leaning on one another tonight and finding that sense of camaraderie and community that we count on in dire situations like this.
And some people are, one person said, is this live? Oh, yes, this is definitely live.
You mean live. Us? Yeah, we're here.
We are live.
We're really here. Folks there at that particular apartment complex do have some frustration. We've heard from you on Facebook. Let's listen to one person, one of the residents there who just spoke with us.
It's very kind of frustrating being here about, what, 4 or 5 months. That is something that it peeves me, only because it's something that you're not made aware of in the beginning. Not saying you wouldn't move here, but it just kind of, you know, just know, hey, this is a flooding area, being that I'm freshly new. Like me, I'm coming from Georgia. So this is very new. Not saying flooding is new, just kind of, it can be aggravating, but it's something you just got to take in strides.
Well, hopefully the management's watching tonight, and we obviously feel your frustration. Any area that is prone to flooding, it's happening. You know, with this type of rain, these high rainfall rates. Patrick does want to pass along the information. The tornado warning does continue, although the rotation has weakened.
We got 4 minutes on it, but it just, I think they're just letting it expire. But it's not impressive, not clear cut right now. So
okay,
I'd be more concerned about the rain rather than that right now.
Erica's writing in, and I know we've had some questions about what subdivision. That was the Sun Chase subdivision that we heard about. There were evacuations about an hour ago in the Hampshire-Fannett area because of high water.
And Linda, she said, please let everyone know that FM 418 between Silsbee and Coons is flooding, and Mill Creek is already over the banks, and Village Creek not far from it now.
Kyle has a question for you, Patrick, and I'll pass it along. He says, with the humidity increasing, could the storms intensify? Looks like storms are building west of here. Does this mean storms will build from the west and increase as they move east?
Yes, that's exactly what's going on.
And you mentioned kind of...
There's a kind of a convergence there. We've got. Let me go to a different. What is occurring is that this activity is moving in from the west, but it's also seeing a little bit of activity coming in from the southwest. That's these two colliding air masses, or not air masses, but directions of these showers and thunderstorms. They collide, and so the air has to, when you have differing,
he wants to talk to us, Erica.
a slot. It's called convergence, basically. Whenever they come together, the air mass has to go up because it can't go down into the ground. So that's where we're at.
Gotcha. Let's take another look at the radar, shall we, at this point, as we track this closely.
Right.
Again, the convergence going on here in southeast Texas right now, right on top of us.
Right,
How
'cause
many
we're still
inches of
getting-
rain
yeah.
has Vider had? That's Linda's question. We'll get Patrick to do
goodness.
some tracking here in just a second. Let Patrick know that here in Lumberton, I can see high shelf clouds building.
Okay, Vider, rough estimate, right around 6 inches.
6 inches for you in Vider at this point, okay.
14 inches Hampshire Finette near Winnie.
14 inches, again, radar detected, but you have to believe that there's some ground truth to this.
Yeah, Kyle is saying that he can see some high shelf clouds. What does that mean? Building.
Let's see, over towards Cheek. At least 10 inches.
Okay. Carlene's concerned about the Motiva refinery. Carlene, we have not heard anything specific about the plant in Port Arthur.
Right. Not
Tornado
sure about
warning is
the-
expired.
That
the
is-
contract workers out there, but those who are on staff with the plant, I mean, they know exactly what to do in weather like this. Not sure about how they're handling, the contract workers out there.
Again, if you just may have heard Patrick behind us mention, the tornado warning has now expired for southwestern Jefferson County. No tornado warnings at this point, as we
Yeah, and once
Hope that
again,
it
we
stays
have
that
another
way.
question about Sunchase in Hampshire. That's getting hit hard right now. They've evacuated.
That's the area where the evacuations are. We are working to find out more information about the extent of the flooding there. Suffice it to say at this point, most major roads have some water on them. The low-lying ones are impassable.
The
I think would
usual
be
suspects.
a good way to put it.
10 inches in Cheek.
But that's on, okay, we think about it this way, that's on top of the rain that these areas have already seen over the last couple of days, right?
That's 10 inches, yep. That's in the last 24 hours.
Well, as you zoom right in there, those whites indicate the intensity of
15 inches in Hampshire.
up to 15.
16 inches near Winnie.
Oh, they're just getting pounded out that way.
Just sad.
Dwayne's asking about Gilbert Lake Estates.
I don't know where that is.
I don't either. Can you tell us, Dwayne, and we'll try to get information. Some of our morning crew is arriving in the newsroom at this point, and I know they're working to get things confirmed for us. So we appreciate your patience. Don't want to put anything out there that is not accurate at this point.
Okay,
We're doing our best.
Now, Eric, this is a very important question. We are in Hampshire. Should we try to make it to mid-county or stay put, Patrick?
I don't know. I don't know what your situation is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
we
wouldn't
know
advise
there's a lot
travel.
of water on the roads out
I
there in
wouldn't
Hampshire.
advise any traveling right now, right?
No.
You can't see, right?
No.
Why would, well,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's.
Unless-
but if your
house is flooding,
if your house is flooding and it's a
right?
life or death situation,
Right, but if it's not, I mean, it's just really not worth the risk tonight. I mean, it's dark and there's just so many areas that are taking on high water on the roads tonight, Eric. So I hope that helps, but you got to use your better judgment on that.
yeah. Boy, the rain really picking up here in the past couple of minutes at our studios on Interstate 10 in Beaumont.
what was the name of that neighborhood in Hampshire? Sun what?
Sunchase subdivision.
Sunchase.
Yes.
That's what we've got. We're trying to keep you updated the best we can. Guys in the back, if you've got any of our reporters who are out and about, pass that along, and we will go to them as time allows.
Sunchase Estates?
I am not sure.
Let's see. Any news on I-10 wreck at State Line westbound side, backed up to exit 4? I can only imagine, Leonard, that there will probably be, if you're on the roads, I mean, it's really wet out there, so not a surprise that there could be some accidents on the road tonight.
Here's some information just coming in from Winnie, and that is Riceland Hospital in Winnie confirms they are trying, in quotes, to evacuate patients because of flooding. the hospital would not confirm to our sister station from Houston how many patients or how they're getting out. But that's breaking information right now just in from Brett Buffington from our sister station in Houston.
Oh, that's what I had a few minutes
letting
ago.
us know.
Okay, you're looking at earlier video from Folsom, and we're pretty sure at this hour there's more water. They've probably shut that section of Folsom down, but as Jordan was just mentioning, we have a situation in Winnie that's Riceland. That's
Riceland Hospital.
Evacuating patients. They're taking on water, so our thoughts and prayers are with them. I mean, how do you evacuate people if you can't, if there's flooding and you can't get to them?
Right.
Do they send out the Coast Guard at this point? I mean, I'm thinking about they have to probably, you know, if you can't get in, the water's too high.
We didn't report
Air
it.
rescue, maybe?
We didn't report it on
Yeah.
TV or on Facebook Live here, but we have heard concerns about boats coming in to do rescues, and you know this is so
That
eerie.
is very dire with boats as well, because I mean, as Patrick showed us, that they're still taking on a lot of rain in Winnie. So
and the rainfall rates are torrential.
5,
Right.
6.
What we struggle to find adjectives at this point. I think you get the idea. And we know some of you are up watching from places like Orange saying it's not bad right now. And say thank you, because we have enough rain for the rest of you at this point. This is a map. No road closures that we know about at this point. I'm going to take a closer look. No, those are the usual construction zones. But again, torrential rain is coming down. We're switching back over to the radar view, and you can see at this point no break. That stretch of I-10 between Winnie and Beaumont.
and we can
that is,
hear it on top of the building here. It's intensifying. It's still coming down, and I lose track of time, Jordan. But I think this has been happening now for about 2 hours straight.
I came back from my dinner break at like 8:15.
I thought it was
and it
closer to
really
8:30.
anticipated. I think we've been going since about 8:30
Yeah.
with this kind of rain, this intensity with only a few brief
Oh boy,
breaks.
I'm really concerned about those people out in Winnie tonight. We just take a moment to really think about this dire situation they're going through. Say a little prayer for the folks in Winnie. They're trying to get that hospital, Riceland hospital, evacuated.
Maureen specifically asking about the nursing home in Winnie, and I'm not sure at this point whether Riceland is the hospital or the nursing home. Our reports from our sister station identified it as a hospital.
Okay. Michael is back with us on that Gilbert Estates. Patrick, that's near Gator Country.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's
Gilbert
out in the area
Estates.
where there's a lot. It's bad. I mean,
It
that's
was
near Hampshire,
It
right?
was 6 hours ago. This was at 6:35.
The rain started to intensify. Is that what we're looking at here?
We got another warning coming in.
Yeah, they're replacing the flash flood warnings.
So flash flood warnings continue if
They
you're
ex-
up with us early at this point.
They expire and then they have to be reissued.
Okay.
When the ones already expire, they have to be reissued as the conditions warrant.
Okay.
So yeah, this has been going on for a good 6 hours.
Okay. That's why we're up with you folks. We want to keep you safe. We'll help
Keep
you
the
pass
questions
along
coming,
information as best we can. Some video earlier from downtown Beaumont as cars made their way through the area around Calder.
It's good that these people that a few hours ago were able to hopefully make it home before the water got any higher out there.
As you stay with us, significant flooding, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, being reported in the Winnie area. Radar indicating upwards of 15 inches of rain that likely has fallen in parts of Winnie, Hampshire, Fannett, that I-10 corridor in southwest Jefferson County.
Yeah, a really dire situation out there, and we're starting to hear some thundering going on now. A lot of people are talking about in places that we mentioned a lot with Winnie, with Hampshire, but a couple of people had mentioned that they were starting to see some, lightning kick up in Beaumont. It's just going to be a very long night. So definitely, as long as we're here, we'll try to keep you up to date with the most up-to-date information to try to keep everyone safe out there. But a lot of people are asking still, should they travel here and there? And personally, I just wouldn't do it. I mean,
Yep.
it's too dangerous right now. And then with the emergency responders, like we mentioned, there, people in Winnie that really need help getting out of those hospitals. With the first responders, we don't want to stretch them too thin. you know, it's really difficult for them to deal with those emergency situations and to add on top of that. So stay put if you can.
Here's the tweet, by the way, that we were mentioning earlier from Brett Buffington, who's a reporter for our sister station in Houston, alluding to the attempts to evacuate patients at Riceland Hospital in Winnie, telling him that they are attempting to do this because of flooding. At the time, they would not confirm how many patients or the means of evacuation. Like Erica said, are we talking boat? Are we talking air rescue?
Okay,
are
we
we
have a
talking just moving to higher
Flash
ground?
flood emergency now declared.
And for what area is that?
That is right over the Hampshire Finette area into Beaumont.
A flash flood emergency.
Emergency.
That is a term from the National Weather Service.
Yes. Let me put it back on.
Just to show how serious this is.
Yeah. So that's it right there, including Beaumont. Let's see.
Yeah, good advice, Tommy. Please do not drive if you're in the danger at your home. Please call for help. Do not try and drive out.
We want you to be safe. And if that means staying put, we've had questions about whether you would leave at this point if you're in the Hampshire area. Unless the water were coming in, I would be hard pressed to leave with what we've got going on outside.
Exactly. It's just too much water coming down too quickly. And right now, roads that may not have been flooded a couple hours ago may be flooded right now. So I would not take the chance with that.
Yeah, flash flood emergency.
Not a good situation.
Explain that. Emergency. We get the warnings, we get the watches. What's
Yeah,
the flash flood
the flash
emergency?
flood warning means flash flooding is occurring, but now this is even higher. Flash flood emergency is it's beyond a flash. It's the top of the. It doesn't get any worse than this.
Okay. This is, again, a term from the National Weather Service that their meteorologists have used, but we get the picture. I guess to Erica's point, is there anything that has to constitute one?
Right.
I mean, do we have to
Well,
have upwards of...
this says that this is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. This is for Beaumont, Port Arthur, Vidor, Rose City, and Finette. Additional rainfall amounts of 2 to 5 inches will be possible over the next few hours.
Okay.
So there you go.
Flash flood emergency.
Flash flood emergency. I haven't heard that in a very long time. If I ever heard it, it was probably during Harvey, right?
Yep. We're going to continue to read your comments, and certainly we want to hear your input. If you're up with us, hundreds of you watching right now on our Facebook stream, and we know many of you are watching on your televisions and on your
Elaine
devices.
is asking once again about the tornado watch. I mean,
The warning?
Yeah, the warning. Elaine, it wasn't a watch. It was a warning, and not for Port Acres.
No, and it has
yeah.
expired. So that is really good news on a night where there is not a lot of good news at this point.
Yes, Tommy, please think about your pets. Tommy is saying take care of your pets as well. Check in on your elderly neighbors. Give them a call. Make sure they're okay.
You think about how hesitant you might be to wake somebody up at 12:45 in the morning or whatever time
Right,
it
because
is
think
right
about
now.
this. Some people may have gone to bed early around 9 o'clock and don't have a clue what's going on right now.
If you're in one of these flash flood emergency
Exactly.
zones,
So I think they would want to take that phone call.
Yep. Let's get the notifications out. We want you to be safe, and we don't want to say anything. I know someone, again, to go back to the gentleman who was asking about whether he should leave in Hampshire. You've got to use your best judgment. We're not there. We don't know what's going on. If you've are in this flash flood emergency zone, out may be the best option for you, even in this rain.
And we have people asking about a particular area like Orange. Well, if you're in Orange and you're trying to go somewhere, you're going to probably run into some problems. It may not be the worst situation where you are, but if you leave your house in the morning and you're trying to get to point B, I mean, you could be in very bad shape, even though you're not experiencing the worst of it in your neighborhood. And so Patrick is continuing to update us on the situation, and as long as this rain keeps falling, use your better judgment and stay off the roads.
We've heard about the area around 9th Avenue and Turtle Creek in Port Arthur off Jimmy Johnson. As somebody who grew up not far from there, I'll tell you that that is one of the ones that always floods, even in a summer storm. Jolene is writing in to let us know that her apartments are flooded in Port Arthur.
What apartments?
What apartments? And goodness, I hope you're okay. Try to seek higher ground. We've seen flooding, the usual spots in Beaumont, 11th Street in bad shape near Christus St. Elizabeth. The access road right outside our station has quite a bit of water on it. Earlier, Dallin was impassable.
Someone said that Dallin in the Phelan area, and then Lexington, that there was flooding in that area as well. So it's going to be a long night as long as this rain keeps going. I mean, we could see it go from bad to worse.
The latest radar, I guess the modeling data that Patrick's been looking at shows the next 8 to 10 hours where we may continue to have at least some significant rain falling here in Jefferson County.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people wondering about those school closures, of course. They're on our website, 12newsnow.com. We're still getting information in, like the last hour with Beaumont ISD, said they were going to delay for 2 hours, but by daybreak, I mean, you're going to have a clear picture. I mean, a lot of these buses won't be able to roll. I mean,
No.
there's just be too much flooding.
in these areas where the flash flood emergency exists,
Right.
there's not going to be enough clearing, enough water able to run off in the next 3 or 4 hours for the buses to be in a safe situation.
Yeah, Jolene says she's the apartment that's flooding's on 9th Avenue in Jimmy Johnson. So
Exactly the area that we were
stay
hearing
safe,
about earlier.
Jolene. Let us know how your situation is going. Please stay safe. Thanks for joining us, Christy.
Hey, LaDonna wants to know if her husband can get to Baptist Hospital from Viter. The traffic map shows that Interstate 10 is open.
But it's those feeder roads.
Yeah, and the low spots. We've heard the access road right here. I mean, we're where he'd be exiting at College, presumably. It is not good out there. I don't know if we have any live pictures we can share at this point. But
Right, and I don't know if he's what they call like critical, like that. There are different type of labeling for employees at plants and hospitals, like critical, like doctors, nurses, so forth, people that run their technology. Maybe those are the people that, sometimes don't have a choice. If they can get there, they can, get there. But if they're non-essential, that's another thing you have to consider. If you're a non-essential employee, you may be best to kind of stay home and wait to hear from your supervisor or something like that. But we know that doctors and nurses, they have to get there.
Yep. Jordan did point out, Jordan, one of our viewers, pointed out that College does flood, especially along the access roads here. Patrick, can you bring back up the radar for us here?
Yeah.
In just a second. And I don't know what our sky cam is showing at this point, but we'd love to pass along that to people here who are watching at this point. Tyler Segerman's been out and about tracking things near some of the apartments. It is dark from that sky cam's
That's out in
perspective.
Orange. We're not going to see much there. So hey, if you're in Orange and you're trying to get to Beaumont, as you can see, it's very dark. And the interstate may be clear, but once you exit, you may be in trouble. So, this is a good time to go ahead and download our 12 News Now app for all the radars, all the push alerts that will keep you up to date tonight.
That's right. We want you to stay safe, stay home if you can. Alex says he hopes Bridge City stays calm for the next couple of hours. We hope that is the case as well. You know what's strange? If you pause for a second, I feel like the rain may have finally let up just a little bit here on our rooftop.
Yeah, we don't hear it coming down as much and as intense. That's a good sign. This is right outside our 12 News studio there, and so, you see a few cars on the highway. So you spoke too soon, Jordan. It's kicking back up. You hear it?
That's ridiculous.
Blame me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have nothing to do with this. But yeah, again, a flash flood emergency in effect right now. For an area roughly from the Hampshire area up through Beaumont, right, Patrick? And into the Viter area. This is a warning that runs until roughly 2:30 this morning. We've heard about the evacuations going on at Riceland Hospital in Winnie.
Yeah, that is a very dire situation. As soon as we get more information on that, we'll update you. But we heard, was it the last hour we got word that they were taking on water at the hospital, but now evacuations are underway to get those patients to safety.
Colton's asking about the Kirbyville area. Patrick, how are they looking up?
They're fine.
They're fine? Good, good. Nicole wants to know about flooding at 365 and 69. 365 and 69.
65 and 69. Doesn't look real bad.
Okay. Back to the hospital.
Right.
New information coming in from Chambers County Office of Emergency Management. 6 people
Have been evacuated?
from
Is
the
that what we've
Riceland
heard?
Hospital. Is that right, guys? 6 patients and staff evacuated from Riceland Hospital in Winnie, a place that has received radar indicated
Right.
15 inches of rain
Okay,
in the
well,
last 24
but,
hours.
but we just don't know how many more may need evacuating. But it's good that they've been able to get 6 patients and staff out of there. James is asking about a doctor's appointment once again at the medical center at 8:30. He's going to be, could he get there from South 23rd? And it's just hard to tell you to stay home or not to go. You got to use your better judgment because we're seeing lots of flooding on these feeder roads. I mean, it may be clear, down your street in your neighborhood, but
Sure.
you can very well get stuck, James. So use your better judgment on that one.
Right at 73 and 124, the split right there, I don't know if you can see that, 17 inches Doppler indicated radar imagery.
I mean, these totals are, these estimates, we should say again, rainfall estimates, are going up here. Patrick's enjoying a soda
Sorry.
here at 12:50. Well, you got to keep going.
I gotta keep going.
You're on hour 12 here.
The thing is that, the best forecast in the world, we're saying 10 inches. And we're, 17 inches? What can you do?
You pause and you hope that it stops.
Not going to stop for a while, unfortunately.
Okay.
Let me get some of the newest model data, see if the new HER has come in. And let's see how long this goes.
While he does that, we'll look at some of your questions, right?
Right. What Donald was asking, he's at the boat ramp in Orange. Will I be safe to travel to Vidor this morning?
Orange divider?
Right.
Yeah, you'll probably be okay.
Okay, you heard that, Donald?
Okay.
Patrick said you may be okay to make that commute.
Yeah, I don't see the flooding that's occurred. See, Orange right now in the past 24 hours has seen a whopping 2.5 inches of rain. Vidor has seen around rough 6 inches. So, doesn't mean that you won't see flooding, but right now I think you're okay. Certainly nothing like what's going. Boy, I tell you what, this is just ridiculous in what is going on in Hampshire. Just incredible training that is going on right now. Okay, I'm just getting an email in, something about Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. They are doing number of citizens calling for assistance in evacuating their homes. This is from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. They're conducting high water rescues in the China Nome area and over to Highway 73.
We have a number that you can call, and we'll get this put up on the screen here in just a second. This is the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. You can call if you're in need of a rescue, and that number is 409-835-8411. I'll repeat that again, 409-835-8411. That is the number to call if you are in need of rescue. The volunteer firefighters out there in the Winnie, Hampshire, Nome areas involved
Jordan,
in these
this
rescues.
is exactly why those people are wondering if they should get out on the roads to go wherever they need to go. Our first responders are really tied up trying to get the most serious situations taken care of. So we don't want to stretch our emergency services too thin because you thought you had to get out to this morning, Jordan. It's already
Time
close
are
to
we
1
at here?
a.m. So
Close to 1 a.m.
Exactly.
We have Mackenzie Hinkle, I understand, one of our, oh, okay, sorry. Who are we going to? Jordan Foster, who has been keeping tabs on things. Let's see where he is and exactly what is happening with the flooding there.
Yeah, no, that's right, Jordan. I mean, we're right out here outside the station, and I mean, the rain is just continuing to come down. We're not seeing any signs of let up. Every now and again, you'll have some, I guess, lack of a better term, a dry spell. It'll come, it'll slow down, rain will begin to stop falling as frequently, and then another band to come through, and it will come even tougher. Now, I just walked back over to the feeder road right here next to I-10, right next to our station, where we've been kind of monitoring the water levels over there, and it's increasing. Unfortunately, it is increasing. I walked back and it was almost to the top of my boots now. So, I mean, it's just showing you how much water is coming and how frequently that water is coming. So it's something that we'll continue to monitor. Like I said, we are just right here, right outside the station. You can see we do have water in our parking lots, kind of just covering over the ground. If we actually look towards the freeways, it looks like the freeways are moving pretty smoothly, which we've seen all day. I mean, it's the major roads. You might see standing water here or there, but it's when you get to these side streets, these underpasses, these side roads is where a lot of people are seeing troubles, and you see a lot of cars on the side of the street, or you see a lot of cars waiting it out. So we've been saying it all night. If you all do not have to be on the road, we're asking everybody to please just stay inside unless you have to be, because we don't, I mean, at this time, water continues to pour down. And it is getting dark, so safety is a concern as far as seeing the standing water, seeing where, how deep water is especially. So we're gonna go ahead and send it to you all back in the station.
All right, Jordan Foster live just outside our station here as the rain picks up again.
Right. This is going to be the scenario, Jordan, for the next 8 hours, possibly.
In some spots across Southeast Texas. Now, lakes are fine. It's just highly localized in Jefferson and back over towards Liberty and portions of Hardin and Orange County. Again, so that's where it's the worst of it is into Jefferson County right now.
Okay.
And Eastern Chambers.
And that again, where the flash flood emergency is.
It's
You
been
see
declared.
the numbers we've been flashing across the bottom of your screen.
Right.
That is the number to call for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office if you need a water rescue. It'll pop back up again, I'm sure, here in just a bit. Reach out to them. We understand it's the volunteer firefighters who are doing most of the rescuing at this point.
Exactly. There's the number 409-835-8411, 409-835-8411. Now, they were doing some of those rescues. Was it out in China?
It sounded like China, Nome.
That whole area.
Yeah, sure. The area that is
Highway 73.
That's
the
right
area
in the
that's been the
bullseye. That's
epicenter
just taking on a
for the
lot
worst
of
of
water
it.
tonight.
We've got Mackenzie Hinkle, as I was trying to get to earlier, and I understand she is out and about updating us on conditions. Let's see where she is.
Hey guys, Mackenzie Hinkle here. Hey, I am on Avenue H and Twin City area of Nederland. Not seeing too much flooding on the roads right now. The drainage system must be working relatively well over here, but this was also an area that did pretty well during Harvey. Not too much house flooding over here, but like I said, no street flooding right now. It is starting to pick up a little bit since I got out here, and the lightning strikes, man, that's what's really getting us over here. I'm telling you, maybe a strike every 30 seconds, which is crazy. But you know, Twin City is always an area, I got reference behind me, Twin City is always an area that floods pretty good, and I'm not seeing it right here at the intersection of Avenue H, but a little bit down towards Boston Avenue and towards Spurlock is where they usually have some pretty good flooding that you really have to slow down for. So we'll be monitoring the conditions in this area overnight, and we'll be sure to let you know on Facebook and on our 12 News Now app. So stay with us, and I'm gonna send it back to you guys.
All right, we're glad things are not too bad there around Mid-County and the Nederland area right now. That is good. Mackenzie checking in for us there off Avenue H and Twin City. Back to the radar we go as we approach the 1 a.m. hour, and you can see this area of just relentless rain. No signs of letting up across Jefferson County. Rainfall rates continue, in some cases upwards 2, 3, 4 inches per hour. and that's how you're going to get that additional 2 to 5 inches that Patrick's forecasting over the next couple of hours. Long list of school closings and delays that we're updating right now on our 12 News Now app. Check that. I know a lot of you have been commenting on our Facebook feed, frustrated that various districts have waited to make decisions. And Erica's back out here with me.
Right, I mean, I had to go recharge my phone, which, you know, this may be a good time for you as well if you still have, you know, power at your house, because we've experienced some areas that are getting lots of lightning strikes, power outages. So this is a time to recharge.
That's
this
right.
could be a time, you know, it's still, you know, very dark outside. Go into that hurricane kit and get out flashlight, batteries, keep them close, just in case the lights go out.
Recharge.
Yes.
Recharge. I know a lot of us are not going to be getting much sleep tonight. We're with you here on Facebook. We're going to be reading more of your comments here in just a second. We're also probably, I'm guessing, going to be changing our own batteries in here. I think I'm losing one of them. But let's go to the radar for a second. We'll get situated here, and that'll show you the intense lightning that's happening up there.
Patrick, what are you seeing right now?
As far as what? Just heavy rainfall?
Yeah, where's the worst of it?
Let me turn something off real quick. I think Houston's having some problem with their radar. Looks like still from, let me do it in the last 30 minutes. Looks like from around Winnie, Hampshire, up in towards Vidor, paralleling 124 is the worst of it right now. Slacking off a little bit over towards southern Hardin County. But again, this is the area of heaviest rainfall that we're watching right now. Yep, that's exactly it. This is the area that we're watching. Let me circle it. Again, Hampshire, Winnie, this is going to be catastrophic, unfortunately, and near Vidor, not so much. But again, still watching some individual cells that are dropping a good 3 inches across the area. Just looking at this, again, a flash flood emergency has been issued for this area from Hampshire back over to Beaumont, and also including Vidor towards the north and east. And just torrential flash flooding amounts of rainfall near Hampshire, just the southwest of Hampshire. Golly, 17 inches has fallen in the last 24 hours. And satellite just shows like a bomb went off. See this? Just impressive, as a meteorologist, impressive display of, look at that. We have got the worst weather maybe in the continental U.S.
Right about now, huh?
Yeah.
Eric and I think, are back
We're
with you.
recharged, Patrick.
We are
We're back with you.
rewired for
Yeah.
sound. That is incredible to look at.
Yeah. It looks like a supercell is what it looks like. Like what you see over, say, Oklahoma or North Texas or
Looks
Kansas.
very scary.
It
very
is.
scary.
Yeah.
All right, we're back with you. I'm going to get back into Facebook. If you've got questions for us, we're about to start reading them. So give us just a second here.
Just to refresh people's memories, if they're just kind of forgetting where they are, losing track of time. Now, we start seeing this pick up around 8:30 this evening, and it's been going nonstop ever since.
At least here in the Beaumont area, and in some of those really hard-hit areas like Hampshire and Winnie.
Right.
Sunchase subdivision, we heard about evacuations there around 10:30, 10:45 tonight.
Now, we did get an update about the hospital in Winnie, Riceland Hospital. They were able to evacuate 6 patients and staff members, but we're still unsure just how many people were at the facility tonight. So hopefully we'll get an update with that for you as well real soon here.
Here's the message from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. Their deputies working with volunteer firefighters doing high water rescues in the area from China to Nome down to Highway 73. And they said rural residents should call 911 first. If it's busy, then you can try the sheriff's number directly. And we pass that along as well. It's 409-835-84 409-835-8411. Again, that's the Sheriff's Office. Rural residents, call 911 first. That'll help them pinpoint your exact location.
Exactly, and it's going to be a busy night for those first responders out there because that area has been pounded with lots of rain. So I can only imagine what type of flooding situation out there tonight.
Guys, what are we seeing on the screen? Help us out there. From Snapchat video, I understand. All right. These are Snapchats that folks post, and then we're kind of scrolling through at this point. So while our producers monitor those, we will watch what's going on. This was at the Settlers Cove Apartments. A bad situation there. We feel for them.
Yeah, a lot of the residents there trying to get their vehicles to higher ground because the rain just won't let up. And so they don't want to wake up in the morning, of course, and their vehicle is underwater. Let's hear from one of the residents out there.
It's very kind of frustrating being here about 4 or 5 months. That is something that it peeves me only because it's something that you're not made aware of in the beginning. Not saying you wouldn't move here, but it just kind of, just know, hey, this is a flooding area. Being that I'm freshly new, like me, I'm coming from Georgia. So this is very new. Not saying flooding is new, just kind of, it can be aggravating, but it's something you just got to take in strides.
Take in stride and hope that we get even a brief break so that the pumps can catch up. We want to give a shout out to DD7,
Exactly.
DD6. I know some of you have written to us on Facebook saying how wonderful of a crew these various drainage districts are doing around Jefferson County.
Right, and they're
trying
around
to keep
the clock.
up.
They're on those 12-hour shifts right now to make sure those pumps are up and running in good fashion. But it's just so much water, so much rain in such a short period of time, prolonged throughout the evening. So I mean, there's only so much that the pumps can handle all at once. So we're just really wishing for some sort of a break here. It doesn't look like we're going to get one.
Not in the immediate next little bit here. I know Patrick's in contact with the National Weather Service back there, so I'll let him do that. But Brenda, we see your question, how long before the heavy rains get to orange? We'll check in with Patrick in just a bit. Also concerns about how Pinewood, the Pinewood area is doing tonight.
Oh yeah, Pinewood, Jordan. This is an area that on a good rain day, they see some flooding.
Is that the one off 105?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So if you are
The bayou,
out in,
right?
yeah, if you're out in Pinewood tonight, and if you can log on and jump on to this feed with us, we really want to know how you guys are doing out there, because I know just like on a good, steady, rainy day, they see some flooding. Mm-hmm. And it's just hard to imagine, the people that are out there in areas like Pinewood and, Bevel Oaks and all those areas, Sour Lake, that are still recovering from Harvey. They're still trying to rebuild. Some people have just gotten back into their homes. So we just pray for the best for those people that are still struggling.
This is a live view from our 12 News Storm Tracker, back mobile again. It was surrounded by floodwaters earlier in
Okay, well,
Finette.
maybe this is a good sign.
Had to get
if
it
we're
out.
in Beaumont. We don't know exactly where in Beaumont, but it appears that it's not a situation right there where we see lots of water.
I think this is College.
That does appear to be College Street.
Coming up on the intersection with Major, if my view tells me correctly. We'll stick with this. We'll keep it in the image here. The fact that we can see a little bit in front of the car is a good thing at this point. Like you said, this particular
There's some
stretch
visibility there,
does
so
not appear to be underwater.
But we're not hearing as much rain coming down right now on our rooftop. So maybe
More
there's
coming, more coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Patrick says more is coming.
Confirming, that is College that you're looking at, headed toward Major right now from our 12 News Storm Tracker. We're going to be making the rounds, trying to see where the water has gone down and get a feel for what we're looking at heading toward the morning hours. Again, 1:08 right now as you're up live with us. Yes, we are actually on the air. This is not
We're
a
still
recording
here
or
with
anything.
you.
We are with you on the air and on Facebook and on our 12 News Now app because we want to keep you safe.
Yeah, back to the people still recovering from Harvey. And we know there are a lot of people in this area that are still recovering. And so this just really compounds the situation that they're in. A lot of people were just starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm really afraid, Jordan, by daybreak when the sun comes up, we can have a better visual on exactly just how bad it is. I'm almost too afraid to see that.
You hate to even stop and ponder, because it'll break your heart, whether it's your loved ones or mine. I mean, we feel it is heartbroken to think that you might be having to go through any sort of flood damage, much less catastrophic flooding, like we're hearing about in areas like Winnie and Hampshire. The hard-hit subdivision in the Hampshire area was Sunchase. We have no information at this point on the number of homes impacted there, just that there were evacuations around between 10:30 and 11 tonight. 6 patients evacuated from the Riceland Hospital in Winnie.
And we're not quite sure how many people are in the building in the process of being evacuated. We just don't know right now.
Our coverage is going to continue on Facebook Live. If you want to flip over and join us there, we've probably got your phones out. Join us there. We're going to take a quick break with our on-air coverage right now, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more about this ongoing flood emergency here in the Beaumont, Hampshire, and Winnie areas.
Hey everybody, we are back live with you on Facebook. We're going to stay with you throughout the morning now because
Yes.
we're on the flood emergency, Jordan. I mean, we haven't heard that in quite some time.
And now we have parts of Chambers and Liberty counties, correct me if I'm, is that right, Patrick, that are now joining the Beaumont, Port Arthur, Vidor, Rose City, Fannette areas where there was already a flood emergency. Now we have parts of Liberty and Chambers counties where the National Weather Service has declared this flood emergency. And you know, you asked Patrick earlier, is there a certain criteria before the National Weather Service will do that? And the fast answer is this is just worse than a flash flood warning.
Okay.
It's when lives are in immediate danger, imminent danger, basically.
Okay. This is a copy of the flash flood warning that was just issued and continues just to hit some of these areas. 5 to 10 inches of rain have fallen. Flash flooding is occurring. They're forecasting additional flash flooding in Beaumont, Lumberton, Vidor, Silsbee, Sour Lake, Nome, Deweyville, Evadale, Mauriceville, Bevel Oaks, China, Rose City, Pine Forest.
So widespread.
Yeah. You name it. Additional 2 to 4 inches possible in this warned area. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office working with various volunteer firefighters in areas like China, Nome, the Highway 73 corridor in the Fannette, Hampshire area to try to get to people who need rescuing. They're saying if you live in a rural area, call 911.
Right, and it's a lot of that's going to be happening throughout the early morning here because the rain is just, as Patrick would say, training. It just keeps coming. We hope to get an update soon on the Winnie Hospital, Riceland. They're evacuating people from the hospital. The hospital started taking on water, so we do know for sure that 6 patients and staff members have been evacuated, but we are waiting to hear if there were any more people at the facility and what's the current situation for those people out there.
As soon as we hear more information, we will pass that along. Just reading some of the Facebook comments earlier, we had concerns about Triangle Drive, some flooding there. Dana wants to know what she's seeing on the screen, and that would be Patrick will need to update us on all those various boxes. Are those the flash flood emergencies?
Yeah.
Okay. He switched it back to radar mode right now. Again, showing the relentless rain that we get a break for just a couple of minutes and then it goes again here
it's
in Beaumont.
That training effect. Patrick said it's like a conveyor belt. So it just keeps coming, you know, it just keeps going and going. And so that's part of the problem is that it's just so much water over an extended period of time. I mean, this has been going on consistently since around 8:30 yesterday, last night. So, okay, yes.
Our producers are talking to us. Our apologies as we get this information in nonstop coverage here. We've been monitoring the area on Crow Road earlier, and here is some new video there from Brett Buffington from our sister station who has made his way into Beaumont where the flash flood emergency continues.
Right, it looked like the one vehicle there looks to be stalled out. Yeah,
that's a looped feed there, but you get the idea. Not a pretty picture on many of the neighborhood side streets as well tonight. Flooding continues around the Golden Triangle area, and we're going to continue to monitor your questions. We're going to continue to check in with our reporters who are making their way around. Do we still have our live picture from the storm tracker by chance? I know we've been watching that feed as well. It is out. That is live right now. Looks like they've pulled over, perhaps trying to check on some of the drivers who have abandoned these cars in the middle of the street. Last I heard, they had turned off of Major, and we will find out exactly where this is as you look live with us.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell now, but we know that some of those areas right off Major in the Amelia area, like Landis, that we have reports of a house taking on water in that area.
This is Folsom.
Okay. Right, we did have some people to report to us that along Dallin Road they were seeing some street flooding, so I'm not surprised that some cars have decided to stop and maybe they're saying, hey, you know, I'm just not going to take the risk.
And it's possible that the water has gone down a bit since they stopped these vehicles. Don't know if any drivers are still in those cars. We hope everybody is okay. But we will monitor this feed from our 12 News Storm Tracker. Jordan James, Tyler Sagerman, if you are in the 12 News Storm Tracker, can you hear us and can you describe what you're seeing?
Can you guys hear us? Check 1 2. Check 1 2 3 4. Check 1
Yes,
2.
I don't know if you can hear us, but
Hello,
we
hello.
do have your audio.
All right, guys. So we are right now. It's Tyler Segerman and Jordan James here in the 12 News Weather Tracker. Right now, we're on Folsom Drive, looking towards Dallin, which would be our west. Right now, in front of us, you guys can see about 4 cars, 3 of them with their cautions on. It appears these people just left their cars here in the water. Obviously couldn't make it through this area. There's nobody in the cars that we can see, which is obviously a good sign. But right now, this is the scene on Folsom Drive, again looking west toward Dallin Road in Beaumont. There's about 4 cars in the middle of the road right now that have been left behind. Again, there doesn't appear to be anybody inside the cars. It appears everyone has been able to make it out safely. They just simply left the cars here with the threat of the water being too high. So obviously this is a great sign for people driving out tonight in the Beaumont area and across Southeast Texas right now to not drive in high water or else your cars could have the potential of getting stuck. So again, this is the scene right now along Folsom Drive where about 4 cars have been left basically in the middle of the street because people didn't feel like they could to make it through. So we'll keep you guys updated. We're going to continue to drive through the Beaumont area. Again, it's Tyler Segerman and Jordan James here in the 12 News Weather Tracker. We'll continue to keep you guys updated on road conditions from what we've seen here in the Beaumont area. So right now I'm going to kick it back to you guys, Jordan, Erica, and we'll continue to look for other areas, troublesome spots here in Beaumont.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys stay safe out there. People, as Tyler mentioned, he doesn't believe there anyone. They've just abandoned their cars.
Yeah.
You know, and so we'll probably see a lot of abandoned cars.
Cars can be
Daybreak,
replaced.
right? But lives cannot.
We worry about everyone's safety, so we're glad that those drivers left and got out of that dangerous situation and didn't try to cross any further. That is something we want to underscore if you're just trying to wake up and figure out what you're going to do in the morning, whether you're going to try and get the kids to school, whether you're going to try and go to work. Until the sun comes up, flash flooding is especially
Right,
dangerous.
yeah,
You don't know the depth.
Right, and we're in a flood emergency.
That now includes not just the Beaumont, Rose City corridor back there to Winnie, Fannett, Hampshire, Fannett, that area. Liberty and Chambers County, at least parts of those counties, as I understand it, are now under this flood emergency from the National Weather Service. So that really hits home with we're talking the severity of the situation.
Right. Let's sort of reset a little bit
Yep.
because it's after 1 o'clock now. It's 1:21. A lot of people went to bed last night, probably around 9 o'clock, and don't have a clue what's going on right now, and they're wondering what are we doing here. We are live. We've been sort of following this rain situation that's been going on constantly since about 8:30 last night, and now we're in a flood emergency in parts of our viewing area. We have high water rescues that are going on right now in Cheek, Nome, China, with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and some of the firefighters trying to get people to higher ground.
Yes.
We have a hospital in Winnie that took on water, Riceland Hospital. They've been able to evacuate some patients and staff. We're still not clear on how many people may still be inside. And then we got lots of school delays and closures as well. So if you're just waking up, go to our website, 12newsnow.com, and there you'll see the school closures and delays for our area. There's pretty much a long list right now, Jordan. I'm pretty sure at daybreak we'll start to see that list go up.
Bart is concerned about, we're getting the warning.
Another
right?
tornado warning.
A tornado
take
warning.
shelter.
I guess we're going to go back on the air here in just a second,
Right,
if
yeah.
not immediately.
Okay.
We will find out exactly what area is under that tornado warning.
Right. We've been getting these warnings all throughout the evening. They'll expire, then another one will pop up. Patrick is on his way back in. Patrick, we have a tornado warning. Yeah.
Yep, this is
So-
looks like it is for the mid-county area, best I can tell, with a cell that's coming in from the southwest. We'll
No,
pull-
that's the same cell.
same cell,
Same
but
cell.
just got the tornado warning. I know all your phones are going off. We are planning to go. Okay, those of you just joining us on 12 News right now over the air, we are interrupting programming again to update you on a tornado warning that has just been issued for parts of Jefferson County. Patrick Vaughn is back with us, Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn. He's updating the exact area, we'll pinpoint it for you, that's impacted by this tornado warning Again,
Let's look at, see how bad it looks.
he's going to be pulling up the rotation. Here's the official bulletin just coming in.
Yeah, it's marginal.
Until 1:45 this morning, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near LaBelle, 9 miles west of Central Gardens, moving northeast. This is radar indicated rotation.
It's marginal, but there is rotation.
Rotation there. All right. So if you're just waking up right now, your phone's going off, we've got a
Right.
tornado warning. This is the area that's impacted. Patrick's getting his bearings back there. You see the red and green. Again, that is the winds.
Looks like near Hildebrandt, just to the west of Hildebrandt.
And this is just not
Between
on the
Hildebrandt-
ground, but this is rotation
Yeah.
that's been picked up by Doppler.
Between
radar.
looks like about I'd say roughly 3 miles from Hildebrandt and about 4 miles, 3.5 miles from Cheek, right there. If there is a tornado, it'd be somewhere in this vicinity. Hopefully that's helpful to you. There's Hildebrandt and there's Cheek.
Can you zoom out just a little bit? I'm trying to get my bearings as well.
Here's 124.
Where's 365?
Here's 124 right there
Okay.
on I-10.
Okay.
There's 73 right there.
Gotcha. I think that's right along the 365 corridor as well, Patrick. Maybe a little north of it. But
it is.
we again have a tornado warning. People want to know where it's headed. The National Weather Service
Northeast.
saying northeast,
At 10?
northeast at 20
Okay.
right now. So this one has picked up a little steam. This was the same section of the storm that was
Yep.
tornado warned just a little while ago within the last hour, closer to the Winnie and Hampshire Fannett
Exactly,
area.
the
There it
same
is.
area that's, the same system that's been pounding that area all overnight, all the overnight hours. It's just very consistent with that. A lot of people are just waking up with us, Jordan.
Wondering why we're on the
don't
air.
understand
Yep.
the severity of what's been going on overnight.
In addition to the tornado warning, we have had high water rescues, evacuations.
Right.
A hospital in Winnie evacuated, Riceland Hospital. The Winnie, Hampshire Fannett areas especially hardest hit, as it would appear at this point in terms of rainfall. Again, there's the tornado warning in the area that is impacted. Pretty large area that it looks like they've issued the warning roughly from Beaumont south to mid-county, including the Nederland area and points out toward LaBelle, Central Gardens, Nederland, Central Gardens, and
Yep.
the Southeast Texas Regional Airport, all said to be in the path of this. And Patrick, you've been hitting this all night. This is again radar indicated, and even if there were a funnel,
It'd be hard to see.
you would probably either see it wrapped in rain or only see it in the lightning.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So this is scary. Nighttime flooding, nighttime storms capable of producing tornadoes. That is something that we are particularly worried about.
Pretty much so, Jordan. And if you don't have rain where you exactly right now on your street in your neighborhood, just think about it. You may run into some flooding streets somewhere along the way if you plan on getting out there. Let's take a look at some street flooding. This is at Dowling in Lexington. I mean, look, the water is coming up over the hood.
Yeah, people have been sending this in. You got to slow down out there, folks, if you're trying to get anywhere. My goodness,
Yeah.
this driver is a little out of hand. We need you to slow down because we don't want you to push the water into people's homes.
Right.
One more quick video from the Vider area, Vider High School, I understand, that we're going to be loading. There you see the perspective there again.
Once again, it's just lots of water on the roads. People are asking questions right now on Facebook Live, wondering if they should get out, go to work, this and that. But I know that you're probably maybe unaware if you've been sleeping all night, waking up to this. But this is just a very dire and dangerous situation out on Southeast Texas roads that you just really use your better judgment and stay put at least until daybreak so you can get a better idea of what you're dealing with out there.
Just heard from a caller into our newsroom who says there is severe flooding in Mauriceville, in Greenwood Acres, specifically along Highway 12 between Tuffy's and Royal Oaks. So we will try to check that as we can.
So we're starting to hear from flooding in areas that we had not heard from in the past couple of hours. So that just goes to show that this is starting to look a lot more widespread within the triangle.
Let's regroup again and talk about the tornado warning now in effect for a large chunk of Jefferson County. Patrick's going to zoom in here in just a second. I know he's doing about 10 things behind us, but we are on the air right now on air
Yeah.
and on Facebook. That's the area, the tornado warning.
Yeah, the tornado warning does include Beaumont to, looks like Cheek, maybe just north of Hampshire, Taylor Landing, what else? Nederland,
Central Gardens,
Central
Beauart Gardens.
Beauart Gardens.
If you're near the
And,
airport, this is moving northeast to 20, last we heard, from the LaBelle area.
Yep. Let me turn off a couple of things. It's getting a little confusing trying to keep up with all this. As far as the radar signature that we look for, it looks like it's just to the southeast of Cheek. If there was going to be anything, it'd be between Cheek and Hildebrandt right now. And it is moving off towards the north and east at about 20 miles an hour. So that's the very latest. I'm not convinced something is on the ground. Could be, but I've seen stronger signatures produce a lot better, or a lot stronger signatures before in this area.
We're starting to get another.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the same page, Jordan. We're right there together because as soon as we start hearing that rain intensify on the rooftop, it's not a very good sound. So we know that it's getting a lot of water being dumped right now.
Patrick, you and I stood here that same night that we had the tornado warned storm, 3 months ago, that hit mid-county at about 1 a.m.
Yep.
And you have to wonder how well the radar beam is doing coming from Lake Charles, shooting through these significant
Well,
storms.
the difference is that that was a whole different situation to where there was a line of strong storms. Remember that over towards Orange, and it was having to go through such a thick line of thunderstorms to pick out that severe weather. It was underestimating the wind speed. Here, I think it's going to be doing a good job because this is on the leading edge of that.
Good.
For the most part.
Okay.
So we'll see, but right now it looked a lot stronger.
When they issued the warning.
Yeah, right there it looked pretty pretty decent there, but I don't know. It does not look quite as strong, but that's where we're at right now.
Well, that's why we're on the air. That's why hundreds of you are watching us on our Facebook live stream.
Exactly.
Share it with your family and friends so that they can know that you're safe and that you can
because so many
stay
people
connected.
are just waking up this morning and they went to bed. It was just, a little drizzle here and there, but overnight, I mean, it just got really rough. So share this with your family and friends. I would want to know.
We talked about that
give them
earlier.
a phone call because you don't want them to run into a very serious situation.
We'll continue to track the tornado warning. We want to get a quick update with what's going on here in Beaumont, just outside our studios. 12 News reporter Jordan Foster is there monitoring the intensity of the rain.
Yeah, no, that's right, Jordan. And rain is starting to pick up again. We just had a small window of time where the rain had begun to lighten up, but once again, it's starting to come back and starting to come through heavy again. A little bit of good news, we would consider this good news, is last time I checked as far as the water levels on the feeder on the side of the roads right where our station is located, the water hasn't risen anymore. But that was, once again, when the rain had began to lighten up. But now that it's starting to pick back up, I have to check again when I get off air to see exactly if that water on the side of the road rises. So we'll continue to update you all with how everything looks on this side of town as we get them. I'm sending it to you all back in the studio.
All right, we've been listening in there with Jordan Foster, who was just outside our studios here as the rain picks up again right now. My goodness, we don't want to see this.
Right, and we're located, just to give you a little perspective, we're right there off the I-10 access road. So it's a really good perspective to see how and when that water starts to ride on the feeder roads. Give you a pretty good indication. This could be the case on a lot of feeder roads around Beaumont. So you want to be really careful out there.
Some new video I understand that we're getting in showing some vehicles that appeared to be carrying, trailers with boats coming in. This was earlier in the same area, not far from Gateway, as I understand it.
Right, just take a look. This is Gateway. Now, do you see right there? You see the water kicking up? So, and look at the parking lot there.
Yep. That's one of the spots where it gets really deep.
Exactly. Exactly.
We know the Jefferson County Sheriff's been working in
Right,
the Cheek,
with the water
Nome,
rescues.
with the volunteer firefighters doing high water rescues. So clearly, boats may be needed. That is where we are at this point. You see 835-8411. That is the number to call if you need help. They say if you're in a rural area, sheriffs
Right.
want you to call 911
Oh
first.
my goodness, I can only imagine that phone just going off the hook right now. The sheriff's office, I mean, just going off the hook.
I know our phones are ringing as well,
Mm-hmm.
with people wanting to get the information out there. If you
Main Street and FM 105 in Biter is impassable. Also getting some reports of water in homes in Biter now.
Homes Inviter, newsroom, if you're listening into us right now, Homes
Right.
Inviter.
Check this out. Brian said he drove in from Houston to Beaumont, and it was so scary. Windy, significant flooding, as we've been reporting, and cars are underwater at the Goodyear plant near Beaumont. Let's just hope that those people that abandoned their cars were able to make it home safely.
Yeah, yep. Stephanie says Highway 124 in Winnie is flooded.
Oh boy. Can you hear that, Jordan? It's getting really intense
Yeah,
now.
this is not good. Patrick, folks are concerned about the tornado warning. I know a lot of people woke up and had it on their phones. So let's zoom in and really show the area of rotation, the area of concern out to the, southwest of Nederland?
Looks like it's south of Beaumont,
Okay.
maybe over towards Terrell Park, possibly. It looks like it's weakened significantly to me.
And that would be good news.
Yeah.
Again, the green and the red indicates wind direction to or away from
Yeah, we
the
have
Doppler.
a few people asking about school closures. I mean, if just please go to our website right now, 12newsnow.com. That's the most up-to-date list of school closures and delays. But parents, use your better judgment on this. Because just take a look at this radar right now, and this is not going to let up for several more hours. Several more hours of this rain, and the ground is already saturated from the last couple of days. So
There's the list of closings.
exactly.
And hey, I just got information in from the Office of Emergency Management in Orange. Currently, the west end of Orange County is experiencing high levels of rain.
Yep.
Roads covered. They mentioned specifically Highway 105, Highway 1131, several roads in Rose City, some roads in the western part of the city of Viter, all underwater. This is why we've got the flood emergency
Right.
that is in effect.
Right in that area. Right in that area is the flood emergency.
You know, and it's interesting. The city of Orange hasn't had much at all, right?
Not much at all. This is the flood emergency area, right from around Winnie, Hampshire. Right in this area here is where the flood emergency is, and that's where where roads are becoming impassable. From Viter, western Orange County, and from Beaumont back over to Hampshire and Winnie.
Okay. Again,
Quite alarming, very alarming. Many of you just waking up with us, wondering what's going on. We have a flood emergency going on. We have water rescues going on. We have hospital that's in Winnie that's being evacuated. We have cars abandoned on the streets all around the triangle tonight. So it's going to be a very busy morning now. Patrick is saying that this could go on for several more hours.
again, one more look at the tornado warning
It has
storm.
expired.
The tornado warning?
They just expired it.
Just expired.
Okay, that is a significant relief that we don't have to worry about that. I do want to bring back in 12 News reporters Tyler Segerman and Jordan James. They are out in the weather tracker right now. Guys, tell us where you are and update us on what you're seeing.
Hey guys, Tyler Segerman here alongside Jordan James. We're in the 12 News Storm Tracker, and right now we're heading north on a Treadway Road. You guys saw a lot of pictures and videos from us at the apartment complex of Settlers Cove. We're about heading towards that area right now. I'm going to turn this camera around so you guys can see where we're heading. You can see in the road there's a lot of these cars that came out of that apartment complex. They parked on this street to basically search for higher ground. Right now in the apartment complex, the water's up to the curb, if not more, in some areas. So as you can see, as we're driving through Treadway Road heading towards I-10, You can see a lot of cars, a lot of people have decided to take their cars to higher ground just because they did obviously want any water damage where they were parked in the Settlers Cove apartment complex, which is to our left right now. Luckily, in what you guys can see right now is there's no flooding whatsoever on Treadway Road right now, which is why obviously a lot of cars are here. If you keep going straight, Jordan, you can see on the left, or you'll be able to see on the left, a lot of cars have also parked in the daycare nearby, as well as the Mobile One Credit Union, which is over by I-10. Talking about stuff that we've seen so far already, we went along College Street heading towards Major Drive. There was a lot of severe flooding on that stretch of roadway, so if you guys are going along College, please avoid that area if possible. Along Folsom, you guys saw earlier, we were there. There's a few cars, about 3 or 4 cars that have basically were just left there because people couldn't get through. Luckily, there was nobody inside those cars, so luckily they were hopefully able to make it out safely. We have seen a couple boats, a couple trucks carrying boats on I-10 going back and forth. Hopefully, they're just out there or out here in case of emergency. We had heard of some boat rescues going on, but we haven't seen any out here tonight. But again, right now we're heading towards I-10, about to head back south, I believe, toward the station. And again, we're going to keep you guys updated on road conditions here in Beaumont. But right now, the spots that we're looking at right now is College, has some pretty severe flooding. Folsom has some flooding as well. So avoid those areas if you guys are out driving right now. I know a lot of people are waking up and worried about getting places if they need to go, and obviously work and stuff like that. So we'll keep you guys updated. Again, Tyler Segerman and Jordan James here in the 12 News Storm Tracker. We're going to be going around Beaumont looking for problematic areas in terms of road conditions and things like that. So we'll keep you guys updated as best we can. Jordan, Erica, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, and we do want you guys to stay safe. Here's new video coming in from Crow Road in Beaumont as this flash flood emergency continues. You see driver after driver trying to make it through this area.
Oh, they're really taking a big risk, Jordan, with that much water on the roads.
We don't like to see that. And again, it's dark out there, and particularly dangerous because of the amount of rain that's still coming down. Tough to judge the depth of the water, and we don't want you to put yours or anyone else's life at risk. I mean, that is seriously what we're dealing with at this point, potentially life-threatening flooding.
Right, and right now we've really, I mean, we had our storm tracker, 12 News Storm Tracker out, you know, around the roads in Beaumont and the College corridor, but it's much worse out there than what we could show you right now from the reports that we're getting from Winnie and Hampshire. It's a dire situation. It's just not safe for our crew to go into those areas right now, but it's a very dire situation in parts of our viewing area tonight with high water rescues that's going on right now in China and Nome in that area. And then we have, of course, evacuations that are going on in Winnie. So we really want to make sure that we stay put. You know, if you don't have to get out on the roads, please stay put, because our emergency services are working overtime. They're stretched thin, trying to get to the people that really need the help the most right now.
That's right. The good news, again, to reiterate, if you're just waking up, this tornado warning sounds like if it hasn't expired, will be expiring here in a matter of minutes. Still,
it's expiring.
Okay, expiring here momentarily. Patrick's showing us, and you can see us, see right there on the Doppler indicated rotation, that it has weakened just a bit. We are, I want to tell you, getting battered.
I mean, is this like sideways rain
battered
right
with
now,
rain
Patrick?
right here.
Yeah, I mean, this rain.
Produced was the tornado warned tornado, or the tornado warned storm coming on in.
Oh, okay. Patrick, your mic died.
We'll get your
They're
first
on their
one.
way with reinforcements. But yes, this was the tornado warned cell, and we are hearing it. I don't know if we can take Skycam here.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
We got Patrick now, and I think this was the remnants of that tornado warned cell.
I'm okay. I got a battery.
Gosh, that's over in Lake Charles.
Yeah,
Patrick,
do we have
can you get us a
Skycam
Skycam
here
here?
in Beaumont, right in front of the studios,
Yes.
please? Can we get that one up so we can really see?
Pretty dangerous situation. I know if people are waking up and hearing
It's
this, I would
fine.
be nervous.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
got
very
it.
nervous,
Yeah,
and
it's fine.
rightfully so. You should be nervous. I mean, this is the time to really not try and attempt to get out there and go where you might want to go to work or whatever. Just kind of sit tight. You know, use your better judgment. Wait till you hear from your supervisor.
Take Skycam now.
Okay. He says Skycam is ready, folks, and we can look at that. This is just outside our station. Tough to see, but you get the idea. With the lightning flashes,
strike. Yeah.
we are just getting hammered right here, right now.
I can go to Education First.
He's going to switch over to the Education First camera, which is at
That's
105.
the Howe Furniture Sky Cam in Beaumont. Let's go to Education First Federal Credit Union.
Okay.
How about this?
See, it doesn't look like they're getting it nearly
It's
like
not
we
quite,
are.
quite
Not-
as
not
bad
quite
there yet.
We will continue to watch that. We've got our weather tracker on
Quite a
the
bit of
move
lightning.
around
Lots
Beaumont.
of lightning. Now we're starting to see a lot more lightning cells over Beaumont, Patrick.
Yep.
Again, if you're just waking up, the tornado warning being allowed to expire by the folks at the National Weather Service as we continue broadcasting on Facebook and over the air right now on 12 News and 12newsnow.com. Our app is really handy. You'll be getting these notifications. They're coming to my phone as we speak. There's a look at the weather tracker right now, I'm assuming. This is, again, right outside our station, making their way through I-10. And you can see just torrential downpours. And we're hearing, as Erica pointed out, some of the rain coming sideways at our building
the
right
hitting
now.
our building
visibility is
right
starting
now.
to get low again. So guys, stay safe out there in your storm tracker. The visibility is getting pretty bad right now.
These rainfall rates,
Lots of lightning.
approaching what, 3, 4, 5 inches an hour with these particular cells that are at
Just
their...
trying to look at the wind that's coming into Beaumont right now, see what we're seeing.
Check out the lightning. Oh my goodness.
I'm doing a good job. All right.
They're getting off the road there for a second. That is
Good idea.
a good idea. Again, this is the flash flood emergency area that is shaded. Now, Patrick, switching back over to the rainfall rates.
Yep. Those are what? 4.65 inches per hour, and into, let's see, along Cardinal Drive, right at 4.35 inches per hour. That's how heavy the rain is. That is torrential rainfall. If that cell sat over Beaumont for 1 hour, it would drop 4.35 inches of rain.
Goodness, we don't want that. 2 new school closures for tomorrow. That is High Island and Legacy ISD.
Right. Well,
Both closed.
I guess tomorrow's today now.
Tomorrow, excuse me, yes,
Yeah, tomorrow's
that is
today.
today. Let me hit that again. Closed Thursday, today, High Island and Legacy ISD. Jordan Holt just wrote to us on Facebook, and this is some interesting information, saying if you're driving into Beaumont on I-10, take the 365 exit. The flooding is bad on the highway.
Thank you for that.
If you know anyone who's got to come into town and is trying to make it, be careful. Be especially careful. And again, that suggestion was to take the 365 exit off of I-10. Again, the tornado warning being allowed to expire, but we are hearing the wind and the rain with this particular storm that is moving into Beaumont right now from the south and west.
Oh boy, just look at that. I mean, it's just, but this has been the situation, Jordan. We've been seeing that, what Patrick calls that training effect of these storms since 8:30 yesterday, since 8:30 last night, and it's just been unrelentless. It just keeps going and going and going. Many of you are just waking up to us. We are live on air and live on Facebook right now. We have some very severe weather that's happening. It's called a flood emergency, and that means that, hey, this can be potentially a deadly situation.
Worse,
You're out on
than
the roads.
a flash
just
flood
to
warning.
put it to you, you know, for real. I mean, this is not a good time to really be out on the roads right now. We have lots of flooded feeder roads tonight. We have some people that have abandoned their cars already. I mean, it's going to be just unbelievable to
Hey guys,
see what's going to happen here.
Just a couple
when
of
day
notes from
breaks.
people on Facebook. I know I was reading that suggestion that get off I-10 at 365. Numerous folks have written in to say 365 off I-10 is flooded. So that may not be a good bet. You got to use your best judgment. Again, it is so dangerous to be out there right now because if you're not in an area where it's well lit and visibility is reduced, you don't know where the water is.
Right, and if the water's coming down all night so quickly. So, hey, get off on 365, but what's going to meet you when you get there?
Okay, at Highway 73 and 124
Is that
coming in
19 inches?
19, approaching 20 inches between Highway 124, FM 124.
Okay, it's just hard to imagine what that means. I mean, give
close
us a
to 2
visual.
feet.
Give us a visual.
73 and 124 right there coming together. That's 19.7 is what Doppler radar is indicating. Let's see.
So visually, that means like stop signs are underwater, right? Or close to it?
No, half of a stop. I mean, you know,
Half-
that's
half?
almost more than knee
2
deep.
feet.
Probably
Right,
knee deep.
okay.
Yeah,
2
knee
feet.
deep.
What is that? I don't have a ruler.
Okay. I wasn't very good in math student, but it's a lot of water. I mean, it's high. It's coming up to your knees. It's real high.
I just think people are going to start losing their homes.
Patrick,
That's the way it is. It's happening in Hampshire, Finette.
Okay, so now we shift
That's,
to
that's
it's
just the way
about
it is. They're
it's
getting
about
water in their homes in
Yeah.
Amelia, in Cheek. I've seen one house off of College Street, Bristol. Do you know where that is? Okay, Bristol and College Street. There's water in a home there. There's water in homes in Winnie,
Hampshire.
Hampshire.
A couple in Silsby.
Yeah,
That we've heard about. We don't want to forget.
And
I mean,
in
we're
Vidor, there's Vidor.
Rose City.
okay. This becomes more like
A catastrophe.
life-saving efforts. How do people think about preserving life? You know, I mean, material things. I hate to say can be replaced, but you know, you cannot replace a life. People, please be safe. Stay off the roads out there.
Got
Call
Tyler.
that, yeah, call, wait a minute, but
Go
you know,
ahead.
I mean, we're talking about people flooding out of their homes, okay? So, I mean, we need to put up that number again, 409-835, what was it, 409-835-8411. 409-835-8411. That's the number you call if you need to be rescued right now, okay? I mean,
And the experts, listen, at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office said that you can call 911 if you're in a rural area. Hey, guys, let's put up these are live pictures, right? Okay, this is a live look at our storm tracker. Looks like Tyler may be out there trying to talk to the drivers.
Where is
maybe
this? Where's this?
I'm assuming still in Beaumont to keep them from driving into whatever's on the other side of that high water.
guys, do we have any idea where this is right now? Okay, we're trying to get a better, I was trying to look at the restaurant over there and try to get an idea of where this is.
Oh boy, this guy's still going for it. Oh, okay, so there's a car that's clearly stalled out.
Right,
Hopefully that driver's okay.
right.
And if you look there in the distance, you see the truck that managed to get through, but easily a foot of water. There's some.
It almost looks like Papados from a distance. I can't. Hey, Jordan, where are you guys?
Erica, right now we're off I-10 right in front of Lupe Tortilla.
Tia.
Okay,
Yep.
that's the feeder
Driver
road.
is stuck in his car right now. 12 News reporter Tyler Segerman went out there to try to help him out. He's coming back in the car at the moment. Let's see.
You can see the water is almost completely over the tires of that
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, we're live right now. So is there someone in the car? Yes. So there's no one inside of the car right now.
Good.
It's a stalled vehicle at this time. Tyler went out there to make sure, but as you can see, this is the case on a lot of the service roads that they're in impassable conditions. So if you're out right now, we definitely encourage you to definitely be safe out on the roads.
All right, once again, that is near Lupe Tortillas. That's off the I-10 service road.
That's right next to Outback, right approaching Washington.
Right.
Good thing nobody's in that car. And Tyler, thank you for going over to check on that to make sure no one was there. Serious situation unfolding as we have this flash flood emergency that is in effect for a large part of southeast Texas, really along the I-10 corridor from Winnie through Beaumont. Places like Rose City and Vidor also included.
Yeah, Jordan, and this has been happening all evening. I mean, you get a little bit of a break where you think it's just maybe a little drizzle. It's not as intense, but I mean, after about 10 minutes, it picks right back up. So this is just a conveyor belt of water that's just being dumped on our area right now. And you know, we didn't need this much. I mean, the grounds were already saturated. And so we're just seeing a lot of street flooding out there. Right now is a good time to download our 12 News Now app for the latest push alerts and the radar. Plug in your phone if you still have electricity, keep that charged up. We'll be here as long as we need to be to make sure that you get the most up-to-date information. We want to make sure that you and your families remain safe through this ordeal, but it's just so much water So much water, Jordan, everywhere. I mean, we're starting to see things get a little bit more widespread across our viewing area. Reports of water that's in homes now. Reports of people being rescued from their homes.
And we're telling people, per the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office orders, call 911 if you need rescuing. They're working with the volunteer firefighters. And as this rain continues and really intensifies what we're hearing outside our studios here in Beaumont, I can only imagine we're going to be hearing about more rescues in the coming hours. Obviously, as Patrick has underscored, there are areas that really haven't felt the impact. As you can see from the radar, Port Arthur, you've been missing the heaviest of this. Orange, you've been missing the heaviest of this. But we certainly have enough rain to go around for sure.
It's just sitting, it feels like it's just sitting there, you know, over Beaumont, just dumping rain. You know, it just continues to pour on us.
Here's some of the conditions out there. We'll show you some of the videos that we've been getting in here in the last couple of minutes. This is near Lexington and Dallin, as I understand it. Again, we want to remind you, slow down.
It looks like a speedboat going down a river, right? You see the water
the people
splashing.
in those homes are not happy about this.
Really, yeah, it's really not a wise thing to do that.
We also had some video from near Vidor High School, a similar scene there, where there's just a lot of water covering the roads. So
lots of lightning.
We'll flip over and show that as well. Again, there's the look at Vidor. Don't go on these dark, water-covered roads. That's why we have this flood emergency in effect. We're trying to keep you off the roads, trying to keep you safe. We expect additional schools in these impacted areas. If they haven't closed already, we expect to hear from them in the coming hour or two, because with the rain that is still coming down, there's just not going to be time for this to drain before the kids need to get to the bus stop.
Especially in that daybreak. I mean, it's going to be so apparent, you know, exactly, you know, how treacherous these roads will be with a lot of water, you know, at daybreak. And then, you know, but use your better judgment as a parent. You know, if you feel like you just get this feeling that, no, I mean, my school hasn't said we're closed for today, you know, use your better judgment there and follow your instincts and keep your kids at home, keep them safe.
Jen just wrote in to say that the rain has died down in Winnie. I'm looking at the radar right now. You can see it on your screen as well. It certainly looks like you're in a bit of a dry pocket for now, and that would be a blessing. Jen, if you can offer us any perspective on what you're seeing around your neighborhood, how you're doing, we would really appreciate that. So let us know exactly what's happening. Brenda wants to know, is Orange going to get heavy rain?
Would that be the city of Orange, Orange County? Because we know Orange County.
I'm thinking Brenda's talking about the city of Orange. At the moment, you are certainly missing the worst of it. Bridge City, you as well, as we look over. I mean, this is a really heavy band, and it looks like even here in Beaumont that maybe we're getting past the worst of it for the next couple of minutes. Patrick, you with us back there?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I wouldn't write Orange. I wouldn't write off Bridge City. Yeah, you could see heavy rainfall.
Okay.
This is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay.
It's just when. I can't tell you that. I do know that we're going to see rain continuing for the next 8 to 12 hours. So this is going to be, how many feet of rain are we going to see now? 2 feet in some spots? Hopefully that's it.
Not a good situation. Again, Orange County Emergency Management reports of Highway 105, Highway 1131, roads around Rose City, and some parts in the western area around Vidor, all said to be underwater right now. We've got the flash flood emergency that continues for a large part of southeast Texas.
Right, just take a pause for a moment here. Just think about it. If you're still wondering if you should get out and go anywhere right now, you really might want to think twice. I mean, we're giving it to you like it is. And it's very, you know, some very dangerous, treacherous situations out there right now. You may be traveling the highway, but if you get off, you may run into a water feeder road that's covered with water and get stuck. So I don't think this is the time to really take any chances. Use your better judgment, people. We've been through this before. We know how bad it can get. You know, right now it's about saving lives, you know, just really, really take lots of precautions and let's make some really wise decisions here this morning. It's not our first rodeo. So we really know that how bad it can be.
Help your neighbors.
Exactly.
Check on those who are asleep right
Exactly.
now.
Let's make sure we keep everybody safe right now. That's the main concern.
Jen just wrote back from Winnie. I was concerned about what was happening in her area. She says, we are okay, but so many have high water in their homes yet again. Knee deep, she says, where she is on Pine Avenue in Winnie. So we are thinking about you.
Yeah.
Alex reporting they're already getting some rain in Bridge City now. Melissa says knee deep water at my house here in Beaumont.
Where in Beaumont? Did she say where in
She did
Beaumont?
not.
Because we know that we've had reports of a house taking on water off Landis that was in the Amelia area. Let's check back in with Jordan and Tyler. What are you guys seeing right now?
Hey guys, it's Tyler Segerman and Jordan James here in the 12 News Storm Tracker. We're now on Highway 69 southbound heading towards Mid-County, and right now we're seeing a lot of cars on the side of the highway. A few were just going the wrong way. I don't know if they just turned around and thought they just saw something that they didn't want to see, but right now there's a lot of cars with their hazards on the side of the highway. I'm going to turn around and show you guys a car that's been stuck, that is stuck right here. It doesn't look like anyone's inside. But this is along, again, 69 southbound. This looks like the feeder road in front of the John Deere Tractor Supply area.
And this is the case for several cars that we've seen out since we've been out on the road today. A lot of people just deciding that, the risk is not worth taking, so they're just leaving their car. And we don't know right now how long this car has been stalled on the service road, but right from our vantage point, it appears that no one is inside of this car. But this is the scene. If you don't have to get out on the road, the best case scenario is not to go.
Yeah, guys, please don't. If you guys don't have to be on the road, please don't do it. I know some people have commented on Facebook saying they're trying to help out and rescue people if they can. But if you guys are on the road right now doing that, please be safe yourselves. You do not want to be another car like the one in front of us being stuck. But again, we're heading southbound right now on Highway 69. The rain is continuing to come down. It just seems like it's not going to stop tonight, unfortunately. But again, a lot of cars right now on the highway just pulled over, just looking to see if they can wait this thing out. It doesn't appear that the rain's going to stop anytime soon. But again, it seems right now the highway is the best route to go. It is starting to flood a little bit. We hadn't seen any spots, though, that are problematic for us. We've been able to get through along I-10 at least in 69 so far.
And I would just encourage, folks to take it easy on the highway. As we just said, there were folks driving the wrong direction down 69. That's never a great scene when you're seeing cars do that. Like, as we were driving down 69, cars were literally coming straight at us. So be sure to take it easy out on the highways.
Yeah, we're going to continue to monitor, obviously, the road conditions. Again, we're going to head south toward Lamar and check out we're hearing some severe flooding along MLK in that area. So we're going to let you guys know what we see when we head down there, guys. Jordan, Erica, back to you guys.
All right, flip around the camera for us so we can see your drive as you head in that direction. And boy, we know there's those underpasses in MLK. There's no way.
Oh, right.
Passable.
Don't even chance it. We know the usual suspects at Washington and Irving, but of course, with this amount of rainfall constantly, a lot of these underpasses are definitely not safe to even try. It's not safe to even be out on the road right now, but if you're somehow stuck in it, what do you do? Do you abandon your car at this point and just try to get to higher ground because the rain is just coming,
Well, we talk a lot about this. This is when you, like you said, you've got to think about what's safest. We're about preserving your life and those around you. So, we don't want to be the ones making decisions for you. We're just trying to get the information out there. So,
and just to remind people, we're not showing you the worst of it. We can't get to those locations right now where it's really, really bad. We're starting to have people, we're seeing on our Facebook feed that there's so many people that are needing rescue. They're flooded. The water's getting into their homes all across the area. Mainly, we talked about, Hampshire, Winnie. Those people are really suffering tonight. We're hearing water in homes in Vidor now. Alex is now saying it started to rain pretty good in Bridge City. Lots of lightning. We hadn't heard much from Bridge City, but now we know, as Alex is telling us, that it's starting to pick up in Bridge City. So never, right, Tommy, never safe to drive on dark roads, especially. This is right in front of our studios here. Those are boats.
trailers with boats that
Yeah.
were spotted, that our crew saw coming into Beaumont here about an hour ago. So we're watching all of our video feeds. Here's some video from Lexington and Dallin earlier,
Right.
again, where some of those high waters were nearing homes.
Right, and Kenny just checked in with me. We're off College in South 23rd, and it never floods. The worst we've seen was with Harvey when water got pretty high. But now he's saying on South 23rd, the water is now over his boots. It's like inching up close to his knee. So that's a lot of water for areas that don't normally see water. Is starting to get water tonight.
Gosh. And yet that area didn't have much water during Harvey, did it?
Harvey, it was incredible the amount of water that, considering we never flood in the streets off 23rd and Bolivar, there were white caps in the street.
Yeah.
You know, just to show you, to bring you back to just how bad that was. There were white caps in the streets off 23rd and Bolivar. So, but that's what happens when you get these types of rain events. You know?
Relentless.
Yeah.
Relentless. I want to scroll through some of the questions as we kind of reset here this morning. 2:04, if you're just waking up, yes, we are live on air and Facebook and our 12 News Now app right now. Candace wanted to know any specifics, information about 105. That is not reports of we got a report from the Orange County Office of Emergency Management that 105 was underwater. I don't have anything beyond that at
Okay,
this
and
point.
then Keely is saying that there's someone that has knee-deep water in their house in Beaumont across from Rogers Park. So I'm guessing that would be the Gladys area. Kaylee, if you can give us a bit more information where there's water in the house near Rogers Park there, that would be great.
Tommy, we've got them going to check out the Lamar area, so we'll see what they get here. Our 12 News Storm Tracker is headed that way. By the way, this is video of an Acadian ambulance that got into trouble, closer to 11 o'clock tonight while responding.
Yeah, even the emergency vehicles, responders, are having a hard time. So imagine, just regular Joe trying to get out there. I mean, it's not a good situation.
And again, as you can see from our 12 News live Doppler, there's no end in sight at this point. And not to reiterate what you've already heard, but Patrick says, there's going to be rain falling for the next 8 to 10 hours.
Right, and so
somewhere.
Another
here.
thing too, to remind people, this is a good time to plug in, charge your phone, download our app, because I'm hearing that DirecTV and some of the other services are down.
Because all the rain.
All the rain.
Tough to see us.
Down.
So get the app downloaded.
Right.
Stay in touch with what's going on. Stay in touch with what is happening, because the best thing you can do is stay safe,
Right.
stay informed, and really stay put
Right.
at this point. Any chance we could pull up the power outages again at some point? We've seen some reports of additional power outages. I was just scrolling through Twitter. If you guys would let us know when that's available, I'd be interested in seeing it.
You would think there would be a lot more, but I guess this is not so much a wind event, right, Patrick? Is it
Right.
just a rain event?
Mostly rain.
So there you have it, as far as why we don't see more outages, considering the severity of the weather.
This is the energy map. Our crew is zooming in. The green there means that you see on all the streets that power is on, at least around the Beaumont area. That is good. Oh boy. All right, so there's Hampshire, near the Winnie area, off 73, where some of the worst flooding has been. You see the cursor on your screen. That is an area where we're seeing significant, I would say, power outages down there in southwest Jefferson County. Around Mid-County in general, I see a few scattered outages around Nederland, Port Neches, and Groves, but appears in general to be in decent shape. Maybe some outages there, not far from Vider off of Evangeline Drive. But, I mean, for the most part, we've held up power-wise okay at this point.
Right, which that's a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, any good news, we'll take it.
That's right. That's right. That is the infrared radar or satellite that Patrick has loaded from the weather computer. Sir, I'd love you to chime in, because this is really quite the storm system that we have sitting over us that's producing all this.
Cloud top temperatures are down to minus 70 degrees Celsius, and that's telling us the colder the cloud tops, the taller they are, and the more robust or the stronger the thunderstorms are as far as throwing down rainfall. So I'm looking at the temperatures of the cloud tops to tell me how strong these cells are. Interesting.
Okay. As you do that, we've got some new video coming in from Michael Cuther. I apologize if I said your name wrong. This is Dallin near Phelan, Jason's Deli, folks. You know where we're talking. Major intersection. We can at least see the lines in the road,
Yeah.
But that's an indication of, and once again, this is not an area that, I mean, you think about it, Jordan, I mean, typically you don't see that much water on the road in that particular area. You know, on a good rainy day. I mean, the drainage is usually pretty good, but for that area, that's a decent amount of water for that stretch of Dallin Road when you don't typically, you know, we don't typically see that, even that much water on the road.
Right. We want to remind you about the high water rescues that have been ongoing, especially in the Nome, China, Hampshire, Winnie areas. Not a ton of information right now about how many people have had to be evacuated, but we understand that the volunteer firefighters are working with the sheriff's office to try to do that.
Yeah, and then we got people just waking up now, Jordan, wanting to know about certain school districts, close, delay. 12newsnow.com, we have the most up-to-date list. A lot of schools are, at this point, are delayed start to the school day, but use your better judgment. I mean, the roads are very bad out there, lots of water on the roads, and I can imagine, you know, that very many, you know, they're just probably waiting for daybreak so they can assess the situation, but if the roads are bad and the buses can't get on the roads, then they cannot convene with school. So just keep those babies right now, just keep them safe, you know. Don't worry about it at the moment. You know, we'll start getting more up-to-date lists, but for now, let's just think about keeping everyone safe right now.
I'm rolling back, looking through Facebook feeds. Sonia says, Winnie is flooded, don't get out if you don't have to. Lots of houses.
Oh yeah, it's just a mess out there. Asking what's going on in Vider. Yes, it's horrible, Amber. We know. We pray that everyone stays safe in Vider and Nederland to Bridge City. A lot of people are reaching out to their friends right now on our live feed, checking in, make sure that they're okay.
And we hope they are.
Yeah.
We hope they are.
It's just hard to really gauge, other than what we're getting the reports, especially from Winnie and Hampshire, those areas, just how bad it is. I mean, once, you know, we get a little bit of a daylight in here, we'll be able to get a better idea.
How bad it is.
I don't know if I want to see that, you know? I mean, I can't even imagine.
And as Erica has stated, right, you've observed this is an eerie repeat.
Yes.
And we hope it's not as bad, but we know for some of you it's certainly the fear is that it will be.
You know, anytime, you know, there's a good rain, you're kind of thinking, oh boy, I can't wait till this stops. But this has been nonstop.
It seems
Jordan.
so unfair.
And so, you know, a lot of people are very anxious, very stressed out right now, rightfully so. But I mean, we're to keep you. We don't want you to be in fear, but we want you to be informed.
That's
okay?
right. That's
so,
right.
hey,
We're
you're
going
in
to
an
pass
area
along
right
what we
now,
got.
You need help, call 911. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, 409-835-8411.
And they encourage you to call 911 as well. I was told that number is specifically for the more rural areas. So if you know someone in need of rescue, go ahead and call 911, and they're going to do their best. We do not know what forces, what type of resources they have harnessed to try to get those rescues going. Rodney says, "Boy, it reminds him of Harvey." Really does.
Get to the highest point of your house right now.
If
you have a 2-level, water's coming in on the first floor. Get everybody up on the second level.
That is our storm tracker. I know they were trying up in the top left of the screen there. I know they're trying to head over to the Lamar area, trying to see what's happening on MLK. Just had a request just had a request for folks to send our crews down to 365 to check things in mid-county. We will certainly do that as we feel it's safe. As we feel it's safe.
Right. This is not your typical. This is not your typical kind of rainy day.
That's
okay,
right.
People?
That's right. Folsom Drive, Beaumont. We saw this video. We were there live a little while ago, checking on this situation.
There's a car that was abandoned there.
Another one on I-10. That's the one in front of Lupe Tortilla. No one was in that car.
Thank goodness for that.
And we are happy that everybody's okay. And then here's the stranded, abandoned cars, you might say, on Folsom Drive in Beaumont as the rain just continues to come down. These are scenes we've watched all within the past hour. Jordan and Tyler are on the move from the 12 News Weather Tracker right now, and I want to bring them back in and find out exactly where they are at this point as we check in with them live.
Hey guys, yeah, Tyler Segerman here in the 12 News Storm Tracker. You can see Jordan James is heading out now. There looks like there's a family, looks like a woman and a man who just left their vehicle heading back. Jordan's checking on them right now. We're now parked on the side of Highway 69. We're heading southbound, just south of Beaumont, heading towards mid-county. The car to the right is not their car. That has been there for a while. Looks like that was abandoned as well. But again, right now you can see Jordan James is looking to see if the family or this couple is okay. They've been walking about a half a mile from a car to your left for a little bit. Obviously, they're trying to figure out what to do tonight. Obviously, they can't drive anymore, so they're obviously making sure that they're okay. And again, obviously, just we want to make sure everyone's just obviously a sign for people to make sure everyone understands the dangers that are out right now, posing the threat of rain that's posing the threat of these conditions on the road. We've seen a lot of cars already get stuck. You guys saw that with the shot right now where we're at. There's a couple cars to our left that have just parked over here that there's people inside still, and they're just basically waiting for this storm to clear, or at least for the water to go down on some of these roads. And it's just kind of encouraging. We just want to encourage people to be safe on the roads right now. If you are having to be out, we understand. We just want you guys to be safe. We don't want you guys to be another car that gets left in the water. Like I said, here's Jordan now back. And do you want to say what you're...
Yeah, so I just got done talking to a man and a woman. He said they thought they can make it. They were stuck down there for about 40 or 45 minutes, but somebody is coming right now to take them back to their destination. And he simply just said, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you don't have to be out on the road, don't go. He said he thought he could make it, but as you can see, he wasn't able to make it. He left his car on the side of the service road. So luckily he was able to make it out of this situation safely, and he's getting in the car right now with someone, and he said his car is going to be towed away. And this is the scene that we've been seeing up and down Highway 69. Several cars are on the service road due to not being able to make it down here. The water is really high out here, so definitely be safe if you're out on the roads.
Yeah, and if you guys obviously if you guys don't think you're able to make it home, or you need to go to work, have someone get you. I mean, there's no sense in driving through water and getting your vehicle stuck. Call someone. There's a lot of people out here helping, a lot of emergency vehicles and law enforcement that we've seen out right now looking to help people. So if you guys do need help getting to a certain spot and you don't want to drive your car through a flooded area, because there's quite a few flooded areas that we've seen so far here in the Beaumont area, please call someone, because you do not want to get your vehicle stuck. We don't want you to get your vehicle stuck, and we just want everyone to be safe tonight. So just please use caution if you guys are out on the roads right now with the flooding. And obviously the rain hasn't subsided at all tonight. It just continues to come down, unfortunately. But we just want you guys to be safe and just use caution while you're out on the roads. So we'll kick it back to you guys again. We're going to head towards Port Arthur. We just stopped by to check out on the family and make sure that none of these cars were okay, and that everyone had made it out safely. So we're going to get back on Highway 69. We're going to head south toward Port Arthur, and we'll give you guys an update when we get there. Jordan, Erica, back to you guys.
Stay safe, guys. Like they just said, the guy, he thought he could make it. He was like, I think I can make it.
Didn't happen.
No.
Didn't happen. We're glad he's safe at any point. Hey, I just heard from the newsroom, the Pine Club Apartments, reports of water up to the curbs and in some apartments. This is according to a caller into the newsroom. That is near the Neches River off Pine Street,
Correct.
The Pine Club Apartments.
That's near Collier's Ferry Park.
Collier's Ferry.
Back that way.
We certainly hope it's not a super serious flood there, but
get to higher ground if you can.
Move out if you've got to.
For sure.
Again, we have our weather tracker, Tyler and Jordan, who are headed in the storm tracker
right.
to mid-county right now,
right.
going to go toward the Nederland Port Neches area and then down toward Port Arthur, hopefully, as they check on things.
Okay, yeah, we have some people here. Palencia saying Lavacan Park Street is flooding, she said. Floating. Maybe there's some things floating in the water. I'm sure she means that it's starting to flood out that way. Patrick, what do you got for us?
Well, just give you an update as far as radar imagery, and again, it's develop around Conroe, dive to the southeast, and then move up towards the north and east. But we're starting to see some areas that have not seen heavy rainfall beginning to start to see that, especially into Orange County, and now starting to move into Port Arthur. As you can see, quite a bit of lightning once again pulsing up, indicating there is lift returning across the area, and that means the intensity is going back up. Up 59 near Cleveland and Roman Forest, back over to Liberty and Dayton, and also in towards Winnie. More heavy rainfall moving on in. Then it turns sharp left, and now starting to move on into Mid-County. Port Arthur looking at some heavier rains, and heavier rains trying to move out of Vidor in towards Orange, and also Mauriceville on the way to Deweyville. As you can see, these areas have not seen heavy rain as of yet, and Nederland starting to see just torrential rainfall extending back up to Vidor, Mauriceville, and this is headed over towards Orange and maybe over towards Port Arthur. That is the training effect. This is flooding rains. It's going to take a while for Orange and Port Arthur to get into trouble, but something to watch over the next several hours. Rainfall rates again as high as about 5 inches off towards our north. Yeah, 5.2 inches just north of Mauriceville. Rainfall rates of about, 4 inches over into, let's say, near Port Neches and Nederland, and also very heavy rainfall back to the north of Winnie and through southwestern Jefferson County, rainfall rates of about 4.2 inches. So if that cell stayed over your area, it would drop 4 inches and 20 hundredths or 20 tenths of rainfall over your area. The whole area is under a flash flood warning now in effect. Here comes another one up into northwestern Liberty County, just hard to keep up with. Flash flood warning or flash flood emergency has been issued for eastern Liberty County and eastern sections of Chambers County. Flash flood emergency from around Hampshire back over to Beaumont, Vidor, and that's where we're at right now. So as far as amounts of rainfall, almost 20 inches. So somebody's going to get 2 feet out of this, it looks like, in this particular area. Hopefully not any more than that. And as you can see, Futurecast doing a pretty good job. This is the next 12 hours as far as the high-res model. It's being updated every hour, and it just goes on and on and on. This is continuing to develop over towards Conroe, move in from that way into Hardin and Jefferson County. This is at 7 o'clock. More very heavy rainfall, maybe even trying to amp up a bit up towards the lakes area. Once again, continuing over Jefferson, also into Orange and Hardin counties. There's 12 o'clock. Still got some spots seeing extremely heavy rainfall, and through 2:20 is where we're at 12 hours from now, maybe breaking up a bit, but still some pockets of very heavy rainfall in the forecast. So the experience that I've seen over the years with these tropical systems is that you get the heavy rainfall in the morning, like what we're seeing now. You rain through the morning hours, and then things wind down during the afternoon. And that would certainly be the case as we head on into this afternoon. And again, the rainfall is the big issue right now, obviously across southeast Texas, not so much hail or wind. Quite a bit of lightning now moving in and around over towards Orange County and over towards Mid-County and back over near Winnie. So that's where we're at right now. And just looks like we will continue to see very heavy rainfall throughout the morning hours. I think a lot of streets are going to be impassable coming up tomorrow morning.
Right.
So I don't think that we're going to see a lot of schools be open tomorrow.
No, absolutely not. I'm just hearing from Officer Kara Riley with the Beaumont Police Department. She gave me a call to say, listen, there are a lot of cars that have been abandoned out there all over Beaumont. MLK, don't even try it. Yeah. The best thing you can do is just stay home right now. They have just these abandoned cars all over Beaumont. I mean, if you think you can make it, you can't. You know, there's so much water out there on the roads. So she's saying, you know, to remind people, stay put. You know, this also puts a strain on emergency services because it's just that they would have to go and try to rescue people when they have people that are in really dire situations in other places.
Okay, let me put it in another way. You want to spend hundreds of dollars trying to fix your car? That's a little common sense there. Turn around, don't drown, don't drive your cars through flooded roadways.
Right, and at this point, it's really, you know, we're getting this, like we never thought we'd see this again.
Well, again, this is not to Harvey's status, but, you know, we're at 2 feet in some spot, almost 20 inches in one spot, in the heaviest total that I've seen, 20 inches into southwest Jefferson County. So we've got quite a ways, but my heart is just really saddened by water getting into people's homes again.
Right.
Just
Still trying to
2 years
recover
later.
from Harvey.
2 years later.
Right, and people are asking about MLK, not safe. As Officer Kara Riley with Beaumont PD says, don't even try MLK. They have abandoned cars all around Beaumont, all around Lamar University area. Some people were asking about Lamar. Don't try it. Please just really stay safe.
I know we have been talking to some of the stranded drivers who are out there. We visited with Kiara not long ago on Highway 69, Cardinal Drive near Lamar. Here's what she told us.
It was a horrible experience. I work at Walmart, got off work, saw all of this, and didn't expect for it to get this bad.
So you decided to pull over to the side of the road?
Yes, we were stuck at Marshall Middle School at first, and then the water started to clear, and then we ended up going through the mall to get on a little side road, and we were on the freeway, and then we ended here. We seen what Finette looked like, and it looked like the riverfront park.
How long have you lived here?
I've been living here well over 10 years, like almost my whole life.
How does this compare to Harvey?
I wasn't even out here for Harvey. I was in Baton Rouge dealing with that flood, and I was able to make it out before it even got bad out there in Baton Rouge. This is horrible.
I mean, what's your message to folks who want to get out on the roads to head somewhere?
Do not stay at home, cuddle in your bed, pray. This is not it. I would rather.
Hey, a stern warning from her. We are glad that she is okay. That was earlier. We spoke with her after clearly she was in trouble on Cardinal Drive, not far from Lamar. Here's video from Folsom Drive earlier. No one was in these cars when our 12 News Storm Tracker pulled up. That also a relief. We're glad the drivers got out and just abandoned the cars. You heard the warning from Officer Carol Riley at the Beaumont Police Department. Just stay home right now. We don't want you out on the roads. We don't want you getting into trouble like these folks already have and had to, as Patrick noted, abandon their vehicles. We've still got the rain coming. We can hear it on our rooftop here at 12 News, right here on I-10 near College, and really no end in sight at this point. It's going to be this way at least through the morning drive. That's what we're hearing from Patrick. And so that is what we want to underscore at this point. If you've got morning plans, if you're trying to figure out where you're taking your kiddos, whether they're going to school, whether you're going to work, obviously the situation does not look good at this point. A flash flood emergency that continues for a large part of Jefferson County because of the rain that has just been going nonstop now since roughly 8:30 tonight, at least here in the Beaumont area. We know, as Patrick's been showing us, rainfall totals, at least the Doppler indicated rainfall totals, could be even higher, upwards of 15 to 20 inches in places like Hampshire, Finette, and the Winnie area, where earlier this evening we heard about patients, about a half dozen patients being evacuated from the Riceland Hospital in Winnie. We've heard from you on Facebook about highways completely underwater, impassable, 124, 365, vehicles underwater at the parking lot of the Goodyear plant in Beaumont. These are areas that we would love to be able to show you live right now, but it's just not safe for our crews to make it to them. As we get there, as daybreak nears, we will start repositioning our resources, but we want everybody to be as safe as possible. We thank you for staying up with us. I'm going to be monitoring your questions. Again, we're watching a video come in from all over Southeast Texas as this flood emergency continues. You see the list: Beaumont, Port Arthur, Vidor, Rose City, Finette. Those are just some of the cities impacted by this, as well as portions of Chambers and Liberty counties now dealing with this flash flood emergency tonight. So what do you need to know about your kid's school? We've got the list right now on our 12 News Now app. quite a few closings and delays. It's a long list, and I think you would be best served to pull it up if you can. If you're looking for a specific district, feel free to write in. We have not, NOT, not heard from Nederland. I know a lot of you have been wondering what's going on there, but no word yet from Nederland ISD about what they're doing. I would also guess that we may have more districts that had planned on just delaying their start, perhaps realized as daybreak nears that it's just not going to be safe for the buses or parents for you to get your kids to school. So we'll find out more about that as the morning rolls on here. But again, the updated list, we've got it pinned. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm seeing the pin right there. Just click right on it and it'll take you directly to the article, or go to our 12 News Now app and you'll get there. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office involved in those ongoing evacuations, rescues for folks particularly in the southwestern area of the county, near the Winnie, Hampshire-Fannett areas off 124. You can call 911, or if you're in a particularly rural area, they suggest you dial 835-8411. We've seen resources coming into Beaumont earlier, some boats pulling up. This was the view along the I-10 access road. No idea where these boats were headed or what type of resources that they have planned coming behind them. I'd seen a post on our Facebook feed earlier that the Cajun Navy is coming, and we want to reiterate, not necessarily as dire as Harvey at this point, but some areas looking at upwards of 15 to 20 inches of rain in roughly the last 24 to 36 hours.
Really, in the last 6 hours, 6, 7, 8 hours has occurred. That's
Chime
just
on in, Patrick. I know you got stuff going back there.
Yeah. Sorry to correct you, but it's it's amazing to me that something like this, of this order of magnitude, is occurring once again in southeast Texas. Just heartbreaking for people getting water in their homes this evening or tonight.
That's Lexington and Dallin, where some driver was going a bit too quickly through the high water. You really don't want to be driving into it at all in this darkness, the danger that comes with us. I do want to underscore, Gina, we have not independently confirmed that the Cajun Navy is in fact coming. That was just a Facebook post from one of your fellow viewers in the last hour or so that caught my eye. That's the view, by the way, at Vidor High School, one of the districts that, last we heard, is still on a delay.
I think we have
And here
another
come the warnings again. The flash flood warning.
They're just updating them.
Our apologies that this is a real warning. Patrick said it's being extended, as I can see, through 6:45 in the morning. Because
it'll be extended again.
Okay. Again, monitoring your questions on Facebook. Erica's back with me as well. Did you peek out the front door? I just did when I walked down the hall. I mean,
no, I didn't. I was trying to get where I was going and get back as soon as I could.
Well, we're glad you are.
I didn't want to miss too much because I know how important it is to make sure we get as much information out as possible. It's a really, dicey situation. I was you were here when I got a call from Officer Kara Riley with Beaumont PD. I think you took a break, and
yes.
She just wanted for me to relay to everyone out there that's watching. We had questions about MLK. She said, don't even try MLK.
Don't even bother.
She said there are abandoned cars all across Beaumont. Not in any specific area, but all across Beaumont. So she is advising people, really, there's really no need to be on the roads right now. It's just too dangerous.
We've been monitoring some of your tweets and posts. We're going to share some from some of our colleagues. This is Tyler Segerman. We've seen this scene. You watched it live right here. If you were with us about an hour ago, they pulled over to check on a stranded car, an abandoned car, right there on the access road. Here's another view. Lots of water, Tyler reported, at the Highway 124 exit, heading southbound along 69. That's Fannett Road.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That is
right
not
there.
good.
Settlers Cove Apartments, we've watched car after car try to go through that area.
And a lot of the people out there were trying to get, this was last night, okay? I mean, we've been going down for several hours since about 8:30, well into the overnight hours, but people were trying to get their cars to higher locations at the apartment complexes, and you see the trailers with boats. No confirmation Cajun Navy is in the area.
Somebody's bringing boats.
I know, I tell you, we really appreciated that Cajun Navy.
This was the
were
view
just
off Folsom.
lifesavers.
Again, this is where they showed up and found a cluster of cars. This is what Officer Carol Riley from Beaumont PD is talking
Correct.
about. I mean, they are all over the place.
And people are thinking, maybe I can make it, maybe I can, get through, but it's so hard to see. It's still very dark out there, and you just don't know what you're getting into. So just please stay off the roads.
We don't have video to share with you. Okay, this is the shot, again, 124 along Cardinal Drive there, the Gators convenience store in the background. Whew. I would not be advising people to drive through that, and you see more abandoned cars.
That's in the same area?
Yep.
Okay, that's not far from the Gators.
That's the new video. The convenience store right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just across from the Boy Scouts. I tell you what, as the sun rises, there's no telling how many cars people have had to abandon around the city and around points elsewhere, along the Interstate 10 corridor, along Highway 365. We heard about part of the Goodyear plant.
That the cars
were underwater there.
Underwater was the description from one of our viewers.
I know we don't have video to share from this area, but again, Orange County folks were paying attention to you as well. Highway 105, Highway 1131, places like Rose City, Vidor, you've already seen, we understand, significant high water. It is not a good situation. The storm tracker is on the move. Tyler Segerman and Jordan James out monitoring things. Tell us where you're headed and what you're seeing.
Yeah, Jordan, right now we are parked on the MLK exit. We were on Highway 69 heading southbound. We pulled over to see what MLK, a lot of you guys were talking about the conditions of MLK near Lamar University. So I'm going to point this around to show you guys what we're seeing. So this is barely getting off the highway. We don't feel comfortable, obviously, going all the way down to MLK. But you can see there's two cars ahead of us, one with hazards on. There's another truck facing the wrong direction that looks like it's in a ditch, obviously flooded. It appears that everyone got out of those two vehicles safely, which is good. But it just comes back to kind of the trend we've seen all night. You mentioned it before, Jordan and Erica. Obviously, all of the cars that have been abandoned because they obviously haven't been able to make it through the water. And obviously, we just encourage people to not drive through water that's flooded. There's a lot of flooded areas in Beaumont right now, given the rainfall that has happened so far, and that's expected to continue to come. But I mean, as Jordan, you can pitch in as well. I mean, too many cars really have been stuck, and I feel like people are just not making the smart choice. I'm not saying that they can't be on the road. Obviously, we understand people have to go to different places, but just be smart. We don't want to see more and more people have to be rescued or have to leave their cars and walk through the rain. Like Jordan just you just experienced, right?
Yeah, like so far I think I've probably counted about 10 or 12 cars just here on the side of the road, right down 69. Right now we're by Lamar University, and a lot of folks I've spoke with, some of them are just coming from work or leaving a friend's house or things of that nature. So if you're thinking about going out, it's just best to just stay where you're at. Stay at work a couple of more hours or stay at that friend's house, because this is the scene on the service road here off of Highway 69. Several cars are stranded. Like Tyler said, it doesn't appear that anyone is inside of these cars. They say turn around, don't drown, and that sentiment cannot be more true than it is today.
Yeah, and again, we're gonna continue to ride around Beaumont. Right now, again, we're at the Lamar, or near Lamar. We're facing southbound on Highway 69. We just got off an MLK exit. And again, we just want to encourage you guys, if you guys are out driving tonight, please be careful. We've seen way too many cars that have had to be abandoned because they just could not make it through the floodwaters or make it through the roads with the water being so high. So please, guys, be careful. We can't say that enough tonight. It just feels like every time we go down to a different road, there's another car stuck. So we don't want that to happen, obviously. I'm going to switch it back to show you guys. Obviously, you can see wreckers on the highway going up and down. We've seen a lot of emergency personnel around the Beaumont area. We've been to College Street, which is really flooded. We've been to Folsom Drive. That was flooded with cars abandoned. I-10 feeder roads, and I don't know what's going on right here. It looks like there's a couple people
running back toward their cars.
I don't know if they maybe forgot something or if there might be someone, in fact, in that car. We're not sure. One of us is going to go probably check them out real quick. Jordan, you want to go check them out? We're going to go see if everything's all right. I don't know why these people are running towards the cars. You can see the water's up to their knees and getting a little bit deeper. So we're going to kind of stay here and make sure these people are all right. But again, we just want to make sure that you guys are safe tonight. Please be careful. you know, really, there's not much else we can say. We've seen way too many cars that have been abandoned because they couldn't drive through the rainwaters or drive through the flooded roads. So please be careful when you guys are driving, and then please just be safe tonight. I'll kick it back to you guys, and we're going to keep updated on the situation. I don't really know exactly, you know, what these two ladies are doing, but Jordan and I are going to go check it out and make sure they're safe. So Jordan, Erica, I'll kick it back to you guys for right now.
We'll keep your live feed up, and we might. I would recommend we kind of keep an eye on that in the control room, guys.
Exactly, because
if we
they
can
were running
watch
towards
that.
the car. So let's hope that no one's in the car right now that's distressed, if there is a person in the car. So we really want to keep a close watch on that situation. He was what, MLK? Was that near the Lamar area?
I think that was Cardinal near
Right.
near MLK.
Yeah.
Quite a few people chiming in on Facebook. We are reading your comments, and there have been a lot of comments, a lot of questions. That is the live feed up there at the top left. They are, looks like, easily 100, 200 feet away. So kind of hard to see, but we'll get an update from Tyler as to what is going on there. Megan wants to know about the winds. Patrick, we'll let you tackle that in just a second. People are saying they're hearing bad wind near the 69-96 split up north toward the Lumberton area. We are certainly going to try and get Tyler and Jordan in our 12 News Storm Tracker to the Port Arthur, to the Mid-County areas so that we can see what's happened there. We do appreciate your feedback, and again, we're trying to get there. Brittany brought up a great point. She said she's keeping an eye on the drainage canal near Jimmy Johnson in Port Arthur. She says pretty much staying down, so she sees that the pumps are working. She said that was a big issue during Harvey.
Great news.
So we love to hear that. We know DD7 was in their special storm mode, 12-hour shifts that they started early Wednesday morning.
Right.
Early Wednesday morning.
Very proactive in this situation. So it's good to hear that these pumps are doing what they're supposed to do.
We talk about some of the lessons learned after Harvey, and one thing that DD7 talked to me about when I did an investigation with them about a year ago was about how they try to pump down the canal system, if you will, their network of drainage ditches in advance of a storm like this, kind of lower the level of the entire system so you have a little extra room when it starts filling up so fast. And that is hopefully what they were able to do in this one, in addition to manning the stations.
And I know a part of that management was making sure that the drainage ditches were clear, making sure clear of debris, making that a top priority to keep those ditches clear of debris. So when we have situations like this, then we can get a better drainage going.
Alyssa just wrote in and asked if we were really still live. Yes, ma'am, we are. We are here with you because we care about your safety. We care about what's going on for your family, and we really want to get an idea of frankly, how much longer this is going to go.
Right. So think about it, Jordan. Many people, they went to bed watching us at 10 o'clock, and they wake up and they're, what are they still doing there? Well, we still have a very serious situation, so we want to make sure you get the most information to keep your family safe.
That's right.
Just to let you know, it's been nonstop. That's why we've been here.
That's right.
And
and
it just keeps going.
We signed off a couple of times on air and stayed on Facebook, and then another warning came.
Yeah.
And so we really want to make sure that we're keeping you and your family.
Are we on air now?
I think we are on both.
Okay, just needed to.
We're on every platform available, my dear.
Okay.
As we continue to keep people updated.
Right.
Right now, the time 2:41. If you're trying to figure out what's closed, what's not, school-wise, Patrick's back there looking at us. You've had a long day.
Yeah.
You've had.
Anyway,
Along
somebody
2
was
days.
asking about the winds in Jasper. All I see is about 20-mile-per-hour winds.
Okay.
In Lumberton.
I mean, in Lumberton, the split. I just got through looking. Was looking at that.
69-96.
Yep. I don't see anything more than 20-mile-per-hour winds, so I don't know what they're seeing, but I just wanted to update you on that.
Good deal. Hey, guys in the control room, that is the storm tracker again on the move, I believe. It appears they may be turning around. We know it's difficult to get around. Hopefully they're following emergency managers and police directions out there because...
I think it's starting to pick up again. The intensity of the rain is starting to pick up again.
Certainly looks like it. There they are. Are they talking to us or somebody else? Gentlemen, can we hear you? No? We're trying to see if they can hear us. You get the idea though as they are on the move here. That is, by the way, a mounted camera on the
Right,
dashboard, so
trying
no
to
one's,
definitely
we're
stay safe.
trying
No
to be as
one's
safe as
driving
possible.
With the camera, holding the cameras. They have the seat belts on, which is, we want to make sure everybody stays safe. Want to make sure you stay safe. You're waking up with us right now, wondering what's going on. Take a look at that radar. That's what's going on, and it's been going on like this for several hours. And as Patrick mentioned, Jordan, this is going to continue for more. What he said, maybe by mid-morning, 10 o'clock, we may start to see a lull.
That's the hope. That is the hope. And for the early part of the morning, though, the early commute, if you're trying to get anywhere, it is not going to be an easy endeavor. Not going to say you can't do it and that you won't find some way to make it.
Right.
If there's a
But
place you've
police
got to be.
departments are advising that you do not. I mean, I guess if you're not an essential person for medical emergency services, stuff like that, stay off the roads. It's a very dire situation out there right now. You're just starting to see more video that we took earlier this evening. Well, I say this evening, let's get it right, last night. We're rolled into another day.
It's Thursday
off
morning.
East Tex there, and that I'm sure that area is not as, there's much more water on the road right there. And so people are wondering about school closures.
The list is up,
Right.
and we're updating it. I know it's pinned right now if you're watching us on Facebook. If you've got the app in your hand, just click on that. We'll take you to the list right there. It is exhaustive and has been changing just a bit.
Yeah.
So
And
we
I
don't want to
think
read
some of
anything
these
wrong.
Districts, they've delayed classes, right? So they're waiting for daybreak, I'm sure, to take a look at the situation on the roads when we get a little bit of sunlight, so they can have a better view of what's really going on. And what I've learned too, it's there's a system in place with the school districts, and they do have people that are on standby for severe weather like this, and when it's safe to do it, they send those people or that particular person to go out and survey roads, to
And
make
see
sure
whether the buses will be able to make it.
to make sure it's safe for travel. So there is a system in place with these school districts. They just don't look outside and say, okay, it's not raining anymore.
We can do this.
Yeah, there are people who go out to survey these roads to make sure they're safe for bus travel.
I think it's important to hit on some of the things that we don't know right now. And I know you're watching at home saying, how can't you guys figure this out? There's just not a lot of official confirmation on, for example, number of homes that may have flooded in the Hampshire-Fannett area or number of people who have had to be evacuated. William Blanchette was standing by preparing to do a live shot outside the middle school, and he himself had to evacuate quite quickly because right before 10 o'clock the waters rapidly started to
Right.
rise. So we don't have firm numbers on that. We've heard from you folks in Winnie that virtually all of Winnie, that's the words we've seen from some of you on Facebook, virtually all of Winnie is underwater. How much water, knee deep,
We don't
etc.
know.
We don't know. We don't know how many homes have been impacted. We do know the situation,
It's bad.
and it breaks our heart.
We cannot get to those locations, but from the reports that we're hearing, it's really bad. Once we get some daylight, we'll be able to get a better view of just how damaging this relentless rain has been for our viewing area, for the people that have been evacuated from their homes. So many people still trying to rebuild and get back to some sense of normalcy after Harvey. So this is just a punch. This is a punch to the gut for a lot of people.
Patrick just rejoined us. Any updates, sir?
Just checked outside. It's still raining.
Oh, he said he just checked outside and it's still raining. We'll let you get your mic back on in just a second there. Up in the top left corner in the small box, you can see some of the rainfall rates approaching 4-5 inches an hour, and there you see them a bit fuller. In the Winnie area, 5 inches an hour. That's again radar indicated, but this is adding to the totals the 15, 17, 18, 19
The ground
inch
that's already
rainfall.
saturated. This has been going on now for a couple of days. Let's
Right.
keep that in mind. So, I mean, the ground's already saturated with a lot of water.
And as Patrick pointed out, though, a lot of it did come down in the last 12 to 24 hours.
Since 8:30, remember?
8:30 p.m.
I guess we can
that's
remember
when it
that.
really started ramping up. Just ridiculous.
Really intensifying. And you were saying, folks, we're trying to get some of our colleagues into the station here, and that's just not happening right now, huh?
No, they can't get it. They can't get to the
I
station.
guess you're just stuck with us for a
Daybreak.
little while longer.
Jordan and Erica standing by here. We'll do this.
Up with us.
I think we have some chips that have arrived in the studio here in just a second, so
Yeah.
we may have a slight snack. Stay put where you are. That's what we're going to do. I mean, there's no point in us trying to get out or anything like that. But as far as road closures, there is not an exhaustive list. We wish we had one to share.
Right.
But if you come across high water, to reiterate what we're seeing from our 12 News Storm
Right.
Tracker, don't go into it. It's
Right.
just
Those
not worth
usual
it.
suspects. I mean, a lot of you who've been in this area for a very long time, you really understand the lay of the land, and you know, okay, on a good rainy day, you know, the underpass over there at Washington and Irving is going to flood.
It's going to go.
Okay,
That's right.
so you know this is not a good time to go in that direction. A lot of your feeder roads, they flood. So just keep that in mind. And you know, a lot's been happening so fast, so quickly, and trying to figure out all these road closures. And a lot of these emergency responders, they're out there trying to rescue people.
That's right.
You know,
That's
they
right.
got so many abandoned vehicles. So we just don't know exactly how many roads are closed, or just can't give you a whole laundry list of that right now. But we know that the roads a lot of them are, you know, have a lot of water on them. So you want to stay home if you can and avoid getting out there, because look at the radar. I mean, this is just going to keep going. I mean, it's been nonstop, as Patrick mentioned, since 8:30 last night.
And we should point out, we have been on the air with you live nonstop since 10 p.m., either on the air, on Facebook, 5 hours now as we continue our live team coverage from across Southeast Texas on. We wish we didn't have to do this.
Yeah, you okay?
I'm good.
You doing good?
I'm good. I'm gonna get some water here in a second.
All right.
But we are going to power through until our reinforcements arrive. And again, we'd like to hear from you. I know I'm looking 250 watching right now on Facebook. I'm guessing some of you are trying to get a little nap in before you
It's
face.
been a very, very long night, and you may have family members you're trying to coordinate with, check in on, you know, Mimi and Paul and stuff like that. So we totally get it. I mean, it's nerve-wracking. You know, a lot of people have had a very, very long night. Want to make sure that everyone is safe. So we have some new location, I think, with our weather tracker.
They're on the
Tyler and
move.
Jordan.
Let's
Yeah.
bring in Tyler and Jordan. Guys, where are you? And show us what you're seeing.
Hey guys, yeah, we're still along Highway 69. We just wanted to give you guys a brief update after what you guys saw. We saw a couple girls run into the flood waters. It looks like they were trying to find someone in a car. Jordan got outside and asked them.
Yeah, so originally when we first pulled up, I saw two young ladies sprinting down the service road of Highway 69, and eventually I was able to catch up with them, but basically they said they thought one of their friends was inside of the car, but it turns out she's at a gas station, one exit before this. So as you can see, a lot of people are just really, you know, coming together to check on, to make sure that their family and friends are not impacted by this, treacherous weather which we're experiencing tonight. And we're going to say this again, you know, if you don't have to be out on the roads, we encourage you not to do so.
Yeah, and we're going to actually get back on the road here. We're going to head, again, we're on southbound, or on Highway 69 southbound, rather. We're about to get back on the highway. In terms of the weather, again, it's been consistent rain all throughout the night. There's been spurts of heavy rain along I-10 about an hour ago. It's coming down pretty good right now. It's hard to tell really what the wind gust looks like being inside the news vehicle, or the 12 News Storm Tracker rather. But you can see, I mean, the visibility is decent. It's not the best, but obviously, you know, if you're out tonight driving around, you can see there's plenty of cars on the highway right now. Just please use caution. That's kind of the biggest word we want to be using tonight, or we have been using tonight, just because we've seen so many cars having to be abandoned because the cars have not been able to make it through flooded areas. So again, this is a live look as we're heading down Highway 69. You can see the Nederland, I believe that's 347 exit. We're about 3/4 of a mile away from that. The rain again is coming down. You guys can hear it, I'm sure, through this live shot. It's coming down pretty good. It's not the heaviest or the hardest we've seen today, but it's still coming down pretty hard. It hasn't really stopped all night. There's been spurts that it's stopped, but really it's just been constant rain throughout the night. As for driving conditions right now, I don't see any flooded areas. Jordan, you can chip in if you want to, but I mean...
Yeah, I would say your best bet would be to stay on the highway. You know, the elevation is higher, and if you're thinking about going on a service road, I would think twice about that, because that appears where most of the roads are flooded, but the highway, for the most part, it appears to be the safest route. And you know, be safe on the roads, because the condition is really slick out here, so just take it easy. And as you know, me and Tyler were talking about earlier, you know, we saw cars traveling in the opposite direction on Highway 69. You know, that's never a good sight when you see cars doing that. So just be careful on the roads. You never know never know who's out here or which direction they're going.
Yeah, and again, right now we're heading south on Highway 69 toward Mid-County. We've heard that Mid-County has been pretty good in terms of driving conditions. We have a couple people that have told us that they've made it home safely heading this way. So for anyone who's heading southbound toward Mid-County or Port Arthur, I believe the roads are okay. We hadn't experienced any issues so far. But again, just please use caution if you guys are on the roads anywhere throughout Beaumont or throughout Southeast Texas right now, because again, the rain is just constant. It doesn't seem like it's going to go away anytime soon. So just be very wary of where you are at. If you see high waters, just stop and don't go through that, because it's not worth it. And we've seen too much of it tonight for our liking. So we're gonna kick it back to you guys once again. We're heading south. We'll keep you guys another update here in Mid-County soon. But right now the rain's continuing to come down pretty heavily, or pretty constantly rather. But in terms of the driving conditions, if you stay on the interstate, it looks like you're going to be all right. It's just a lot of heavy rain and a little bit of a visibility issue, but at least it's not flooded like the feeder roads are to that parallels this highway. So Jordan, Erica, we'll send it back to you guys, and we'll be in touch soon.
Okay, thank you guys. Stay safe. It's starting to pick up out there again. If you haven't done so already, download our 12 News Now app for all the push alerts on what's going on right now and live radar. So we want to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information. Download the 12 News Now app. I'm starting to definitely hear the rain coming down hard again, and I hope you don't mind. I decided to take a load off and sit down here for a minute. But all over the radar. I mean, this has been what Patrick will call training. That's right, training, Patrick, for about what, 5 hours now?
Let's see, since 8 o'clock last night,
Right.
that would have been what, 3 and over 7 hours.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's gonna slide on over here.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Just got through looking at the latest run of the European,
Right.
just coming in at 2 o'clock. It's generally in, and
So what is it saying right now?
it's saying that this will likely persist until about noontime,
Until noon. Oh boy.
and still some rain left after that. Let me see.
And where did you were seeing some rain totals about what, 19 inches in some areas, one specific area.
Yeah, it was right there at 73 and 124.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. We have some more new video coming in from Nederland. What are we taking a look at here? Oh boy. Yeah, it's lots of water. Even the dog is like, what's going on here? Yes, please keep, is that hail on the ground? It's kind of hard to tell. But keep sending us all of your video, a flash flood emergency, which we don't hear that very much, do we, Patrick?
I hadn't heard that since Harvey in 2017. That has not occurred. The European showing, this has just come in, brand new European model just coming in, shows some spots in Southeast Texas, 10 additional inches through tomorrow.
Goodness.
So that's where we're at.
That's hard to even think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was just getting an update on some of our crews and where folks are at this point. We've got Tyler and Jordan James in our 12 News Storm Tracker southbound from Beaumont. We'll see how far they can get at this point, trying to go toward Mid-County.
Well, looking at this, they're moving towards better weather over in Mid-County right now.
But we're still hearing a lot of rain here in Beaumont.
Yeah,
That's just not good.
It's heavier over towards, you guessed it, Hampshire, And more heavy rainfall coming into eastern Liberty County, and that's headed right towards Winnie and Hampshire.
Right where they can't take anymore.
Do we have the storm tracker video live? We might even pull that up if we can. I know we don't have to talk to them, but I'm curious and just sort of seeing the conditions where they are. This is going to be on 69 approaching the corrections complexes in the Jefferson County Jail, as I can
That's
see
where
it.
they had that wreck, a couple days ago, right?
Sure, they're coming
Right.
up on Bulwark Garden Road in Spurlock. They're coming in close to Nederland at this point. Looks like they're working, maybe going up on the highway right now. Still raining, but to Patrick's point, perhaps not as torrential
Right.
of rain as we're seeing still in the Bowman area.
And really, it's heaviest over towards Mauriceville, it looks like, and between Orange and Vidor. And also very heavy rainfall southwest of Beaumont around Cheek, where they have had some,
Rescues.
yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah. Vidor Police Chief Rod Carroll saying, please don't get out on the roads. Just
It's-
don't do it.
It is not advisable in any
Right.
form or fashion.
Yeah, we're really starting to hear from police departments, I guess, as they, kind of, get settled into what they're really dealing with here and starting to inform us on just how bad it is out there. They're starting to report back. Beaumont PD, Kara Riley is saying, hey, they're abandoned cars all over Beaumont.
I just really don't think you're going to be able to go anywhere in the morning in Jefferson and Orange counties, or portions of those counties, and into Liberty and even Chambers counties. So it's just, you're not going to go to work. You're not going to go to school. It's just the way it is.
Plan on it.
Yep.
Plan on it. As you're just waking up with us, it is now 2:59. Coming up on 3 a.m. I'm hearing from folks all across the area, reaching out on Facebook and on Twitter as the rain just continues
Right.
at this point. Let's sort of reset where we are. Our 12 News app is the place to go for the list of updated school closures and delays. I really expect to hear more from the various administrations,
Right.
school administrators who put off making a decision until this morning. I expect to hear hopefully something in the next hour or two.
Absolutely. And now we're saying a lot of the roads in and around Parkdale Mall are underwater. I mean, we're starting to get a better picture of what it really looks like out there. We're hearing from, police departments to give us an idea what their officers are seeing out there. And you mentioned Winnie just a moment ago, Patrick, and I mean, it's just, it's just a very bad situation, what's going on out there in Winnie.
We have a crew from our sister station, KHOU in Houston, that is attempting to get to the Winnie area right now to get a better feel for how many rescues are happening there and how severe things are at this point.
We're not hearing anything. People are not responding from Winnie to us, and that, at least I'm not getting
That's not a good sign.
That's why I'm worried. When you don't hear something, no news coming out of an area, that's telling me that bad things are happening, unfortunately.
You're looking right now at the estimated rainfall, and anytime you get those pockets of
20
white,
inches.
gosh,
There you go, 20 inches.
and that would be in the Winnie area.
What in my mind, I'm imagining 20 inches. And we still have several
That happened-
more hours to go.
That happened within about 6 to 8 hours. A lot of that, I would say 70 to 80% of that happened.
And this video you're looking at is on Dowling Road near the Jason's Deli. Water, just getting very high. And this is video from maybe a couple of hours ago.
And you brought up a good point. That's not an area where we typically see
No, not
the
at all.
worst of the high water. So this gives you perspective. I mean, and Patrick, I'd be curious, what are we looking at even say here in Beaumont for rainfall totals at this point? I know it's radar estimated, but still, I'd be interested. Somebody just texted me and said their gauge is upwards of 10 inches in the area near.
Right, Jordan, as I mentioned to you earlier, Kenny went outside, to near the South 23rd area, and the water was already close, to his knee.
Oh yeah.
And that's not an area that would get much water at all. It's pretty high. So when you start to see areas that don't normally get flooding start to flood, you can only imagine what those areas that are flood prone, what they look like.
Certainly.
7 to 9 in Beaumont.
Yeah, that would jive. My friend who's at 23rd and Gladys says 10 inches, 5 inches since 10 p.m. Thankfully, their house is fine, but goodness.
Unfortunately, we can't say that for everyone tonight.
No.
We're hearing about water in homes.
No.
Even in Beaumont, we've heard about Landis, that area, water coming into a home off Landis.
The Amelia area, right?
Near Rogers Park, Gladys down the road, some homes taken in water.
We've got kind of our crews repositioning at this point. We've got Tyler and Jordan in our 12 News Storm Tracker who are heading to Mid-County. You saw the view just a minute ago where the rain was still coming down as they made their way down Highway 69. So we'll check in with them in just a little bit.
Well, just paint this picture in your mind. I mean, this very just nightmarish picture, because when all this started to happen, many people were going to bed.
That's right.
Imagine waking up with water that wasn't there the day before in your house again. I mean, that's what's happening, right now. Oh, we're getting a little rain. You go to bed, you think, okay, getting ready to plan out your day, Thursday. And you have to deal with this water in your house.
That's where we are. And I want to reiterate, we do not have firm numbers on how many homes or businesses have flooded. We just don't. And so we're not speculating, but we know things could be particularly bad in places like Hampshire, Nome. We've heard about high water rescues there.
Vider exit at I-10. This is an 18-wheeler. The doors are open, and they're getting out.
That is the view from an 18-wheeler.
Look at that. Right
My
there,
goodness.
look at that's
Where
okay.
is
That's
that?
an 18-wheeler.
That is why Chief Rod Carroll says, just don't even think about trying to get
exit
anywhere.
at I-10.
And in Vider was
the
one of those
water is
schools
so
that was
high.
Vider was one of those schools that was pushing it an hour late to delay their school start. But
I bet you they don't have school tomorrow.
how's that going to be enough? How's that even reasonable at this point? So again, we're expecting a slew of changes to the school schedules. This is another picture, same exit, same scenario. Goodness.
Oh boy, this brings back some memories. It's very hard to forget. Once again, Harvey, coming down Interstate 10, heading east, passing Rose City. I personally witnessed this because Kenny and I, with the kids,
Were y'all out of town?
we were getting my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law, out because the hospitals were out of service, and they need could need medical services, special needs, stuff like that. And so we're driving down Interstate 10 eastbound through Rose City, and on either side of you, water was up to the concrete barriers, hovering over those barriers. We were just praying that we could get past all of that into Louisiana, into Lake Charles, but the water starts sloshing over on top of our vehicle, and you're dodging these huge puddles on I-10. Jordan, we made it across. I was never so happy to see Louisiana, but I tell you, talking to family members, just within the hour after we were able to make it across, they had to shut down I-10. Completely shut it down. And I tell you, Rose City, all of that, it was underwater. Completely underwater.
And seeing this tonight,
It's heartbreaking.
and I think you, as much as any of us, I wasn't here, but I wasn't back, and I watched from afar and was in such pain watching. My heart goes out to everybody who's ready to deal with this in some form or fashion again.
So I'm looking at that 18-wheeler. They had to abandon it right there at the Vider exit. I don't want to see daybreak right now, because it's going to be a painful picture.
It is. I want to bring in Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn. He's been with us. We have been nonstop since 10 p.m. last night. Patrick, kind of reset the scene for us. Who's getting the hardest hit, heaviest rain right now?
Well, it's a merry-go-round right now, Jordan. We continue to watch the training effect. It almost looks like a half moon, if you will. Continue to see showers and storms. Notice one cell there. Almost, I won't say supercell, but you get the picture. Stronger cells moving along this imaginary line right on into Orange County and then back off towards the north and west. Latest model data does not show any abatement in this right on through late tomorrow morning, or this morning, I should say. As you can see, very heavy rainfall in through eastern sections of Liberty County. That moves on into the Triangle and through Beaumont, and now Orange in through western Orange County, back over towards Mauriceville, seeing some locally heavy rainfall. Still hasn't made it into Port Arthur, the heaviest isn't, or Bridge City. They've seen some periods of heavy rain back over towards Bridge City, but nothing like what has happened and has occurred over towards Hampshire and Cheek and really along 124. That's where the heaviest, almost catastrophic rainfall has fallen. Heavy rains just west of Deweyville and to Mauriceville, very heavy rainfall, and then it weakens as it heads off towards the north. Rainfall rates, again, we start seeing these purple and white areas. That's when you're getting at 5.5 inches of rainfall per hour. Same thing back over in and around eastern Liberty County. That's about 5 inches of rain per hour. Just torrential rainfall occurring with these thunderstorms as they continue to move off and around this training effect, if you will. As you can see also, flash flood warnings in effect. Flash flood emergency, I believe, is still in effect for, say, Hampshire along 124 to Beaumont and also into Vidor until 6:30 in the morning. That's been prolonged or extended, if you will. Otherwise, as far as rainfall totals, let's see, I think we got 20 inches last time I checked. Right around 20.1 inches if I check again. All right, here's the latest run of the HER model. It's a bit overdone up towards the lakes area, but let's check it and see. More rain continuing right on through 6 a.m. for the Triangle. And there it is at 8 a.m., more rain. Heavy rains continue to spill on in at 10 a.m. We may get some breaks as we head on into the early afternoon hours. It's the next 12 hours, and then by 3:05, it starts to weaken a bit over Jefferson County as we start to at least dry out. So if you're just joining us, again, periods of torrential rain rotating along this line, rotating on into the remnants of Imelda, which continues to slowly move off towards the north at the present hour. Again, very heavy rainfall. Some of these, again, are dropping a good 5 inches per hour. Let me see if I can find the rainfall totals again, and those totals are just remarkable. Let's go over our area, city by city, and the heaviest that I can find is right around 20 inches between Hampshire and Winnie, and back over towards Beaumont, it looks like approximately 7 to 8 inches, and I believe my computer has frozen up. How about that? Gotta love live TV. Yep, I'm frozen. All right, guys, that's all I can do right now. My system has frozen up. I'm going to have to reboot, but I do know that there has been a good solid 20 inches of rain between Winnie and Hampshire. That is the bullseye of southeast Texas so far.
Yeah, well, take care of that, Patrick.
We're
Reboot.
back.
It's been going.
You
For a
reboot.
long
The weather
time.
computer is tired. We understand
Yeah.
Well, it's been going since what?
that. Nonstop.
Nonstop.
Yesterday.
Nonstop. Yep.
Yeah.
While he does that, that's a live view from our storm trackers. We have turned him around, perhaps wisely. Just decided it was not
Can't do it. It's
not
too
going to make it to
dangerous.
Mid-County right now.
So that goes to show that for you out there that are thinking about heading towards Mid-County this morning, don't do it. It's just really not safe. And the rain is still coming. It's not letting up. And
That's
as
right.
Patrick mentioned, it won't let up for a while now.
Hours.
Hours.
There is the view, and yeah, we are not necessarily expecting conditions to improve as daybreak approaches. So what do you need to know? Stay home, stay safe. If your home is not taking in any water, give
You're
thanks.
one of the lucky
Give
ones.
thanks, feel
Yeah.
fortunate. At this point, we're glad you're okay. We're happy to be walking you through the process. We're happy to take some of your questions. I will reopen the Facebook Live feed that's been going here for a couple of hours now.
Yeah, keep the questions coming. My phone is charging right now.
We've got Tyler, and I will check your questions, but right now I want to check in with Tyler and Jordan. They are in the weather tracker. Guys, I'm assuming it looks like you're going quite quickly, but slow down for us and tell us where you are.
Hey guys, we're heading back up north towards Beaumont. We're approaching the interchange of Highway 69 and I-10. We're going very slow right now. The rain is coming down very hard. Visibility is very tough to see right now. We just came back from Nederland. We turned around at Highway 365, or 365 rather. Nothing looked to be out of the ordinary there. The roads didn't seem to be flooded at all. People were going by pretty smoothly. But here is obviously a different story. You can see the water. I don't know if you guys can see the water on our right, but it's picking up pretty bad. Visibility right now is very difficult. We're going maybe, 10 miles an hour right now, approaching the interchange of 69 and I-10. It looks like it might be a little bit better in terms of the driving conditions, in terms of flooding, as we're going a little bit higher up, but the rain is coming down very, very hard right now. Again, we are heading north toward Beaumont. We're approaching the 69 and I-10 interchange. We just passed Lamar University, and the weather outside right now is just brutal. I mean, Jordan's having a very tough time seeing. I know I can barely see right now in the passenger seat. So we're doing our best, obviously, to make it and to drive as safe as we can. Obviously, we encourage the same for everyone else. So yeah, just to give you guys a recap, obviously we just came back from Nederland. Everything looked to be a-okay in terms of the road conditions. Obviously, it's still raining there. It's not as raining as bad as it is here right now, but in terms of Nederland, I don't know, we didn't go any further south toward Port Arthur or anything like that, but in terms of where we saw in Nederland in terms of 365, it looked pretty okay in terms of the driving conditions. But again, here right now in Beaumont, it's just coming down very, very difficult. You can see people have decided to pull on the side of the road and just try and wait this thing out, not wanting to drive through this because it's just very miserable. I'm glad I'm not driving. I apologize for Jordan having to drive through this as everyone else tonight. It looks like it's lightening up a little bit, or lightening up a little bit, rather, not lightning. Obviously, there's lots of lightning in the sky. But we're trying to get back towards Beaumont. We're hearing a lot of flooded roads in the Beaumont area that we're trying to get you guys updated on to give the updates on those conditions. So we're trying to make our way north right now. You can see a lot of cars still along this stretch of Highway 69 heading northbound that have pulled over. You can see on the right there, one car is pulled over. Trying to wait this thing out. It's very difficult driving conditions, to say the least, with the amount of rain and the pace of rain that's coming down at this very moment. Visibility is clearing up just a little bit, but again, the rain is coming down very, very hard. So just thought we'd give you guys an update. Again, we're heading northbound. I see a lot of lightning still in the sky. Yeah, visibility is just not the best right now, obviously, with the pocket of rain that's over this area. Again, so we just wanted to give you guys an update. Obviously, we're heading northbound on Highway 69 toward the interchange of I-10. We're going to head, or go on I-10 rather, and try to look at the areas in Beaumont in terms of what we're hearing of some severe flooding, to give you guys an update on those roads, to make sure you guys avoid those roads as well. So again, please be safe. As we're driving right now, we're trying to use as best caution as we can. Jordan is going very slow right now here along the Highway 69. I mean, he's going 30 miles an hour and we're on the highway. So that should tell you enough about the driving conditions right now in terms of the rain and the visibility right now. So if you guys are on the road, please be safe. Please use caution and just use, for the most part, please avoid the feeder roads. If you guys are trying to travel along the different areas of Beaumont and Southeast Texas, try to stay on the highways as best you can. Try to stay on the main roads as best you can, especially ones that are elevated, because those are the ones that, from what we've seen, don't have any flooding, or very minimal flooding in terms of traction for your vehicles. Do not use the feeder roads. That's where we've seen a lot of cars get stuck and be abandoned. So we're going to continue to head north towards Beaumont and then cut over west to check out those neighborhood areas, to give you guys a better look of those road conditions. But right now, obviously the rain is coming down pretty hard. It's lined up a bit. Visibility has gotten a little bit better as we're heading closer and closer to Beaumont. But again, please use caution if you guys are out right now, as obviously driving. The conditions for motorists and drivers out throughout the night has just been brutal, and obviously, you don't want to drive through things that you don't, feel you can make through, and we've seen that a lot tonight. So we're going to continue to head towards Beaumont. In the meantime, I'm going to kick it back to you guys. Not kick it back to you guys, but I'm going to send it back to the studio with Jordan, Erica, and Patrick. I think keep you guys updated on what's going on with the radar and social media. For right now, we're going to continue to be on the road and keep you guys updated as best we can with the road conditions here in Beaumont. So back to you guys.
Tyler and Jordan, thank you. And right now the view, this is outside our 12 News studios, where we are you might say
service
part
road, yeah.
of the flash flood emergency. We are, to be quite honest, unable to get most of our employees in at this point. Our daybreak team may or may not be in at some point,
Right,
so you
so
may be stuck
we're
with
it,
us for a
Tag.
while.
We're it,
We are
yeah.
here, and we are going to stay on the air. I've been going since 10 p.m. nonstop here. We want to keep you up to date with what we know about the flash flood emergency. No firm numbers on the number of homes or businesses that have flooded. We've got some information from the Seabreeze Beacon, which is, to my understanding, a paper in the Winnie area. This is unconfirmed by us, but I will just pass along this information that there is, according to them, a shelter at the Whites Park Community Building. Some other information about the number of calls that 911 has been overwhelmed, et cetera. We are going to be working to confirm that, but the information that they're reporting, again, from the Seabreeze Beacon, is that there is a shelter at the Whites Park Community Building.
They're getting slammed in Winnie and have been for the last 5-6 hours.
Patrick just got some official rainfall totals, and one is incredible. And it's not just for
Mind-blowing.
the last 12 hours, or it's what they call a storm total, 28 inches, but roughly 17 of that came down
In 6 hours.
in 6 hours. 17 inches in 6 hours. So you understand why we've got what's going on in the Fannett and Hampshire Fannett areas.
Relentless. I think we have some more video. I've been talking about this one pretty much, all evening about Irving Street underpass near Washington and Beaumont. If we can get that video.
Just
Yeah,
a pic, but
we have pictures.
you get the idea.
That's
This is
treetops. Treetops. Those are treetops, people.
Wow.
Yeah, oh my.
That's Irving and MLK?
Irving in Washington.
Irving and
You
Washington.
know the underpass that's there?
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yep. Wow.
I think we've got a drain or two
I mean,
clogged up.
this area normally floods, but this would
But
be
this is to an extreme.
Extreme.
So just an illustration of just how much water is out there on the roads. It's just mind-blowing. When you talk about, 28 inches, 16 of that in the last 6 hours?
And we still got thunder, lightning. I mean, that's how intense
Yeah.
the rain is over Beaumont still as you wake up with us. 3:19 here on this Thursday morning. We've had questions on Facebook Live. Have the school closings changed? Have the delays changed? Not much at this point. We've got a newsroom staffed right now, and we've not had any significant changes. The list is on the app. We'll be scrolling it at the bottom of your screen throughout the morning. The accumulations at this point. That was Doppler radar indicated, 20 inches, and now to hear from the National Weather Service that there are people that have had 17 inches in the last 6 hours.
It's mind-blowing. And to get back to, we were talking about Winnie and what they're trying to do to keep people safe there, get people to this community building. We've already, I know you're just joining us to just kind of give you a rewind of what's going on in Winnie. We learned around 9 o'clock, 9:30 that the hospital, Riceland Hospital, was starting to take on water. And not long after that, an evacuation was in process to get the patients and the staff out. So we're waiting to hear back updates from Winnie. We just can't give you exactly what's going on or show you exactly what's going on because we can't get a crew out there.
No. We do have some help coming in from our sister station in Houston. They're trying to get a crew to Winnie right now, so they may be the first to offer live pictures. But we have just heard how horrible the roads are between Beaumont and Winnie that we're not sending anybody out there in the dark right now. That is where we are when it comes to getting to Winnie. So we're trying to come in from the west and get some pictures, hopefully.
The one thing we haven't heard is an alert for a tornado warning.
We haven't.
Because those
Don't break that up.
I know,
Knock on
but
wood.
just you're just waking up to us. But we've had a series of alerts. I mean, it's like they just kept going off. One expired, the next one would go off. So it's been a very, to say the least, a very active weather night here in our weather center. Patrick has been really working, around the clock to get the most up-to-date information.
We're letting him get some stuff posted on social media right now. Orange, we have not forgotten about you. Vidor Police Chief Rod Carroll says nearly every road is impassable. He doesn't want you to get out there. I would venture to say if we could share the image from inside the cab of a semi
18-wheeler.
again, that would be pretty impactful. So we'll let the control room get that found because we were both looking at it like, what are we seeing? There it is. That is from inside the cab.
And so that's almost over the inching
hood?
up at the hood of an 18-wheeler. So that gives you an illustration of just how much water that is at that Vider exit. I can only
Is that Main
imagine what it looks like in other parts of Vider. We're hearing from Chief Carroll out in Vider. We've heard from Carol Riley with Beaumont PD. People were asking on social media about what about MLK, what about Lamar, and she said, don't try MLK. It's a lot of areas MLK is impassable. It's like so many cars have been abandoned in that area, and all across the city of Beaumont, there are just abandoned cars. Our crew out there in the storm tracker came across about 3 or 4.
Yeah, we've seen them on
abandoned vehicles.
Folsom. We've seen them along
Service
Cardinal
Road,
Drive, Service
I-10.
Road. There are just quite a few different areas beyond the ones we've just listed where there are abandoned cars right now. Let's talk about the rain itself, and that is this phenomenon. We've had the moisture converge over our area and just produce these copious amounts of rain. And there's the live Doppler right now.
You've
You
seen
still
lots
see
of
the lightning.
going off.
I mean,
That's telling you there's lift. This ain't going to quit. As long as you're seeing lightning like that, that means there's lift, and that means robust convection will persist over southeast Texas right on through the morning hours. Let's go ahead and do a weathercast real quick, get you updated. And again, it's ring around the rosy. I don't mean to make fun of it, but that's basically what it looks like. Here's this convergent line, if you will. This is the training right along that line. Look at the cells with all the lightning, one following the other, moving right along that area. And that goes from around maybe Deweyville, Mauriceville, nearing, well, in Orange now, Beaumont, Vider, over towards Hampshire, Fannett, and back over towards east and southeastern sections of Liberty County and far western sections of Liberty County. So this is not going to change as we continue to see, look at the cells redeveloping off over towards Montgomery County and moving across, I believe that's, what is that, San Jacinto County, and right on into Liberty County, and then pulsing back up. So again, as long as we see this lightning, that's telling me the atmosphere is still capable of robust convection and obviously torrential rainfall. So this is not going to let up in through I-10, really, from, say, eastern Liberty County, back over towards 124, Beaumont, and also into Orange County now, as you can see. The heaviest activity moving out of Mauriceville, heavy rain over towards Vider, that's torrential rainfall, and back over towards, looks like the big turn near the prisons, also between there and also Nederland, very heavy torrential rainfall extending back over into Newton County, near, well, right around Deweyville and up towards, let's see, up to the east of Buna, as you can see. These purple areas, that's where we're seeing the highest rainfall totals. Let's see if it'll do it, of a good 4.9 inches east of Beaumont, between, say, Rose City, maybe the east end of Beaumont, 4.6 inches rainfall totals, and also into eastern and southeastern sections of Liberty County. So again, 4 to 5 inch rainfall totals. That is torrential rainfall. That is flooding rainfall, and that's what we will continue to see, I believe, for the next at least 5-6 hours, unfortunately. Flash flood watches, or I should say flash flood warnings, continuing from southern Jasper, Newton County, Orange County, most of Orange County. They've kind of shaved a bit of it off over towards Orange and Bridge City. Most of Jefferson and eastern sections and northeastern sections of Liberty and also Chambers County will persist right on until 6:30. This one right over Beaumont, back over to Vider in southwest of Beaumont is showing the flash flood emergency that is until 6:30. Rainfall totals, how about Jasper? This is over the last 24 hours. Let's see if it'll do it. Right around, well, let me go to the computer and show you. My system's being a little temperamental, so I'm not gonna put up with that. Let's go with this. And so, as far as this is storm total rainfall. This is when the rains really start. Near Jasper, they've seen right at 3 inches. Hopefully this will line up with what you're getting. Buna, 6 inches. Of course, near southwestern Jefferson County should be right around 20 inches. Over towards Orange, right around 4 inches. So there you go. Anywhere from about 3 inches to 20 inches, and there's going to be more to come. All right, this is Futurecast. This is what it sees right now. It's a little deflected off towards the north. I think it's further south, as you can see. But this shows at least the potential for heavy flooding rains. I think it'll be south of there. Let's do this. Let me back it up. I'm going to mend this, and we're going to do this. Let's adjust it south. Let's see, how does that look? And a little to the east. All right, and that looks pretty good. Let's let this run and see what it looks like. So I can amend this model and see how it runs. So here we go, rain over Beaumont and also into Liberty County and Orange County. Maybe getting a break towards late morning, early afternoon hours. Let's hope that materializes. Regardless, I think it's going to be raining right now, right on through at least 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's where we're standing right now.
Continual.
Yep, at least at least into eastern Liberty, northern Jefferson, Orange counties. You bet. I don't see much of a change.
By the time this is all over,
How much are we going to?
If in some places, if we're at 28 inches of rain,
Yeah.
another 5-6 hours of this.
Let's see how it adds up real quick.
Yeah. The math, that's when you don't want to do the math on.
No, you don't.
Right, we're getting a tweet from
hi,
TxDOT,
Zach.
much of Southeast Texas. Yeah, Zach, he's the whole crew
We're
that
just-
was
we're
here
adjusting
last
our
night.
cameras.
That's
Yeah.
even the right
Right.
camera there.
Well,
Way to go,
TxDOT,
Zach.
Much of Southeast Texas have
That's
received several inches
twice.
of rain, so if you must get out in this weather, please use caution. Do not drive through, stand in water, #turn around, don't drown.
Zach is forgiven because this is all because Eric and I decided we needed to sit down for a bit as we hit the 6-hour
Behind
mark.
the scenes.
So here we are, 3:30 as you wake up with us. We've got the weather tracker, our crew out monitoring road conditions. We'll be talking to them again in just a bit. I know we've got the Doppler there pulled up as well, and you can see this. I mean, it's lined up. And Patrick, I think said it earlier. This is something that the meteorologist again will be studying.
This will go down.
Another one to study.
In the history books, I'm thinking.
Well, it also just shows you how much we have to
Yeah.
improve on as far as these forecast models.
It's true.
It just shows us how limited we are in what we can forecast. There's a certain amount that I can sit down and put a forecast together. Who would have thought it would have been doing something like this? It shows you the infinite complexity of the atmosphere and how much research and how long it's going to take before we have a perfect forecast, which probably will never happen.
Right.
It's just very frustrating. It doesn't matter how much time I put into my forecast, how many times and what models I look at, you will never get it 100% of the time. And it's as frustrating as can be stated. It's just the way it is. I can't do any better than that.
Well, we know you're doing your best, and I know it's
just frustrating.
It is hard, and you hate to see what's happening.
Oh, it tears me up. I would have loved to have been able to give people more warning, but nothing showed anything like that.
It never stopped. Let's just say it just never stopped.
Yeah.
We have some more new video coming in, Washington Boulevard, in Beaumont there, and oh boy, that's
What is
pretty
that?
bad. That is Washington Boulevard
Is that a
as you
lake?
cross over right there at I-10.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that is going towards Elegante.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
it's a lake.
Whoa!
It is a lake.
I finally got my bearings. So that's,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
across, that's
And
the gas station.
That is
Yeah.
the gas station there.
Right across
and
from Mike's.
then you
Yes.
have,
The car dealership right there.
correct.
I don't
Yep.
care how big your pickup truck is, you're not going to get through it tomorrow.
Well,
Right.
that's what we're hearing about our colleagues.
Yeah.
And that's one reason we kind of reset here, because we're
Right.
getting close to our daybreak
So
coverage.
we're starting to get more pictures, but that is Washington Boulevard. Imagine, I go that way to Sam's.
Right.
That's
That's, a lot of us loop around right there.
Loop around right there.
There's
but
no looping, there is no
not
anything at
right
that point.
now.
At
Unless
that
you have a
intersection.
submarine or a boat.
So we're going to keep sharing the new video. Please connect with us on Facebook. I'm going to pull back up the stream right now, and we'll check your questions, see where we are.
Yeah, but we're starting to get a better picture of just how much water is on the roads around
good.
Beaumont. We were
don't
trying to get out to mid-county, and we had to turn our crew around because it just was not a safe situation.
Wasn't going to happen right now.
Correct, to try to do that. So as we continue to get those new pieces of video in, we'll bring them to you so you can see just how bad it is. Yeah, it's 3:33 in the morning here on 12 News. We've been around the clock covering this just massive amounts of rain.
You in your heart, when we first started talking about this
Yeah.
storm, you had a bad feeling days ago.
Call it mother's intuition. I don't know. but-
Premonition, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of people who are in bad shape at this point. I want to bring back in the storm trackers. We're going to call them the storm trackers because they're in the 12 News Storm Tracker right now. Tyler Segerman, Jordan James, you've made your way back into Beaumont. Tell us what's happening and where you are.
Yeah, right now, so we have made our way back into Beaumont, Jordan, as you mentioned, and right now we're looking at just a troubling sight, really. I'm going to turn this around and show you guys what we're looking at.
Almost looks like a lake.
It's a lot worse up on Interstate 10, looking down on Washington Boulevard, but we're literally looking at Washington Boulevard. You can see the Shell gas station, the car dealership, and this road is just completely gone. The water is up way past the curb. We saw a truck successfully, don't know how, but successfully make it through this stretch of road and back onto the highway, but it was up almost to the top of his engine. I mean, it is very deep right now in this stretch of Beaumont. Obviously, if there's anybody trying to even think about driving in this area, again, we're on Washington Boulevard or near Washington Boulevard and I-10. Please don't. We saw a car stalled on the other side of this intersection, right near the Elegante Hotel. So obviously, a lot of cars have not been able to make it through this stretch, despite the one truck that we did see. But again, I mean, Washington Boulevard right now just looks like a lake, like you mentioned, Jordan. And it's just, I mean, it's heartbreaking to see. We've seen a lot of flooding in Southeast Texas tonight and this morning, and it's just very brutal to see the road conditions and obviously the amount of people that have been abandoned because of it.
And yeah, like you mentioned, like we've been mentioning all day, it seems like most of the feeder roads here in Beaumont are really flooded. So like, your best route, if you're trying to travel somewhere, would be to stay on the highway because the roads hadn't really been slick. There's been times where the conditions have been very hard to drive in, but the feeder roads, a lot of them are flooded, and we've seen several vehicles stall. As we just mentioned, a truck did make it through all of this water, which you just saw on Washington Boulevard, but we do not encourage folks to try to, drive down impassable conditions like this one right here.
Yeah, and like obviously to Jordan's point, we just want everyone to be safe tonight. And in terms of the conditions here, you can see obviously the rain is starting to pick up a little bit now. Again, we're looking at Washington Boulevard near I-10 in Beaumont. And to Jordan's point again, I mean, the feeder roads have just gotten worse and worse since we've been out tonight. We started around maybe, midnight tonight?
Yeah.
The highways, like we've mentioned, have been pretty safe. Despite the heavy rain at times throughout the night and throughout the morning. But the feeder roads, the exits around the 69 and Cardinal and I-10 interchange, the exits and feeder roads have just gone completely away, in my opinion. It's just very, very undrivable. I don't know how anyone with any vehicle, semi, truck, what have you, could even make their way through what we're seeing in terms of the road conditions. The water is just continuing to get higher and higher. And obviously the rain, the continuous rain here in Beaumont and across Southeast Texas is not helping. So if you guys are on the road, again, if you need to go somewhere, please utilize the highways or some high elevated roads. Those are going to be your best bets because what we've seen so far, the feeder roads and the exits getting off the highways are now to a point where we can't imagine a vehicle making its way. I don't know if you guys can see, it looks like there's a few emergency trucks now making their way in this area. It looks like there's a fire truck along Washington Boulevard making its way across our screen. as we speak. Hopefully, they're not obviously going to an emergency. We don't wish that on anyone, but obviously a lot of emergency people, personnel are out tonight. We've seen a lot of people out there helping people the best way they can, but also we want to make sure those people are helpful as well. I mean, you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the water is literally up to the engine of that fire truck as it's trying to make its way slowly through that intersection. I mean, it's just mind-boggling the amount of rain that we've gotten this morning, and just seeing the road conditions where they're at.
And we all know the phrase, turn around, don't drown, and that phrase could not be more apparent tonight. If you don't believe your car can make it, if you're hesitant, your best bet would be to turn around, because it only takes a few inches of water for that water to get underneath your tire, and then your car can start floating in a situation like this.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of that tonight. We've seen dozens of cars throughout Beaumont, North Beaumont, West Beaumont, East Beaumont, anywhere. I mean, all of these roads pretty much, or most of these roads that we've seen are just getting worse and worse in terms of the height of the water. So please, if you guys are on the road, just be smart and be careful. And if you guys see a road that is flooded, or you feel that you're even hesitant to go through, just don't turn around or call someone to get you, because obviously we don't want anyone to be hurt or be unsafe tonight. But again, we're going to continue to monitor the road conditions tonight. Again, we're making our route or our rounds through the Beaumont area, keeping you guys updated on the conditions. Again, this is Washington Boulevard near I-10, and the water is pretty much, you guys can see it for yourself. I mean, it's just to a ridiculous level in terms of something that we've seen tonight, and it's continuing to get higher and higher with the rain continuing to come down. So again, we're going to continue to run around Beaumont, to drive around Beaumont, keep you guys updated on any flooding / road conditions that we've seen. We notice a lot of cars along Interstate 10 and Highway 69 pull over and just try to wait this thing out, which obviously we encourage. We do not want you guys driving through flooded waters. But again, we're going to continue to drive around Beaumont, keep you guys updated, and do the best we can to make sure that, obviously make sure everyone's safe, because we have been checking on people that we feel have gotten stuck or that have been walking through the water. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, Jordan, but we're going to kick it back to you guys, Jordan, Erica, and Patrick. I know you guys are keeping everyone updated with social media and the radar so far, so we're going to let you guys get back to that, and we're going to continue to drive around Beaumont and keep people updated on what we're seeing live here out in the area in terms of the road. So I'm going to give it back to the station. Jordan, Erica, I'll let you guys have it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate all the perspective you've been able to give us, and we really appreciate that you have been getting out of the car and going to help people and check on them.
Right,
And thankfully,
and he was just showing us right there on Washington Boulevard under I-10. That is completely, it looks like a river right now. It's mind-boggling to see these pictures come in of just how much water is out there. So please don't get out in this. This is a very dangerous situation right now. We're going to eventually here real soon check in with Kara Riley. She was trying to call me. She probably has some updates, but earlier she told me that, MLK, all of that, don't try it. They're finding abandoned vehicles all over Beaumont tonight. There's not a safe place to be other than at home.
stay where you are.
Right.
And we've got people who wish they could go home, who've been with us, since noon yesterday or so, and there's just no way we're getting out of here. And so this is where we're staying. We want you to do the same. Be safe wherever you are. Check in with your loved ones. We're watching the Facebook feed for your questions right now. As Erica said, we hope to hear just a little bit from Officer Carol Riley from Beaumont PD. I would be interested in asking her if there's any information yet about a shelter or anything opening
Correct.
up for where people might be able to
Some
go.
people there on Facebook, you were taking a look that there's water starting to come into some homes in the south end of town. They call it
Specifically the Pear Orchard area.
Right.
We're working to find out information about the severity of the flooding there. So Keena, who's been writing in, please let us know what you're seeing and how bad it is. We hope you and your family are safe early on this Thursday morning.
Yeah, exactly. Keep those questions coming. You are actually helping us too
Absolutely.
to try to figure out exactly what's going on all across this area tonight. This is video Highway 124 along Highway 69.
Yeah, this is
Right.
right there, Finette Road, and the convenience store, right? We've been watching these pictures come in, and this is an area where a lot of cars stalled out early on in the flood event in the last couple of hours. So we can only imagine that it's even worse there now. Tyler and Jordan stopped by this location, I'd say probably 2 hours ago.
That's gators. You know, when there's so much water on the road, you have to sort of take a closer look to figure out exactly where this is. But that's the Gators gas station. There's more abandoned vehicles right there along Highway 69. It's going to be probably just, we're going to see abandoned vehicles all over the place once daybreak happens.
Hey, Patrick, do we have a tornado warning?
I'm looking.
I believe we do. We're seeing a lot of people talking about it, and we are going to got a tornado warning.
Same cell. Just coming up, just popping in. See it? Just coming in. 4 a.m.
Until 4 a.m. This is, it's going to be for Orange County now, the warning, right?
Yes.
Tornado warning right now, 3:42 this morning.
Just coming in.
You're watching it live. In addition to the flash flood emergency, we have a tornado Doppler indicated. Patrick's going to be getting the new information about this.
Let's see how it looks like on winds. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's a little rotation. Doppler indicated. Looks like it is south of Vidor, generally in this area right here, southeast of Vidor. That's what I'm looking at right there. Moving to the northeast, at 20 miles an hour? Let's see.
This just came in, folks.
Yep.
Patrick's looking at the latest data. We'll give him a second. Again, the green and red.
Right.
We're looking at the winds going toward and away from the Doppler radar site. In this case, he's using the radar out of Lake Charles. Really, looking into the winds here as we track that.
Northeast at 30.
That's moving faster.
Yeah, these are moving faster. Again, it looks like about right there. So if this holds together, it could impact Mauriceville. We're not saying that this is a definite tornado, but it is a Doppler indicated tornado. Again, let's see. I'm using Lake Charles. Also a good spin up right to the near Niblett Bluff. That's pretty interesting there. To me. But again, if you're just joining us, a tornado warning until 4 o'clock for Orange County. That includes, it looks like Vidor. Let's see, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Central Orange County and southeast Texas.
Central Orange County, all right?
All right.
Till 4 a.m.
Yep.
All right, we'll keep checking back with you. Folks, this is, again, radar indicated at this point. This is for Central Orange County, that tornado warning. Nothing confirmed or anything like that. The radar is meteorologists at the Weather Service, along with Patrick, start looking at these wind flows and trying to see what areas may have rotations that's spinning up.
And it's that same troublesome cell.
They issued a warning on it out in
exactly.
Chambers County. We were in the, in southwestern Jefferson County.
It's the cell that just keeps pulsing back up and down.
Well, we're glad they're monitoring it, and we're glad you are as well. As we look at pictures along Dallin Road in Beaumont, where tow trucks are even having to go extremely slowly to make it through the high waters around the area. Facebook friends, you're writing in, and we appreciate that. We are going to continue to track this in the Orange area. We know a lot of you just got an early wake-up call with your phone going off with this tornado warning. We're also under a flash flood emergency for a large part of southeast Texas because of the torrential rain that we have received all since, for the most part, in the last 12 hours or so.
Right, and I'm seeing lots of comments on my Facebook feed too, specifically about Vidor, that people said that didn't get water in Vidor during Harvey, but now some homes are taking on water in Vidor.
Walker and Casey are requesting some more information about Orange. We'll bring that radar back up full, guys, and I'm curious, this is going northeast at 30.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to miss Orange, this rotation area?
Yeah,
With the
at
winds?
this time I do, yep.
Okay.
If it holds together, it would be towards Mauriceville, but that's not a guarantee. You know, it's not confirmed at this time, but it is heading to the northeast. Looks like Mauriceville at this time.
Right. Trevor, you're reaching out to people here on Facebook. You're saying that you are trapped. Please tell us, where are you trapped?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we definitely would want to get that information out to law enforcement. Where are you trapped?
We'll get more information here and hopefully be able to help you. Caitlin wants to know if Lumberton's included in the flash flood emergency.
No, it is not.
It is not. All right, Patrick with the answer there.
Yeah, Joshua. Hey, Josh Totten, thank you so much. West End of Beaumont by Sally Curtis has flooded. Thank Josh. Be safe, Josh, you and your family. Yeah,
Trevor, who said he was the one who said he was trapped, right?
Correct. Where are you?
Sounds like he must be at a house. He said we
Right.
cannot get out of the driveway.
Right.
Linscomb Road off Highway 12. Is your house flooding? Having a conversation, folks, with Trevor via text here. So, I'm sorry, via Facebook here. Amber, we will reiterate the tornado warning. She is in South Vidor. If you're looking up in the left-hand corner of your screen, we'll get our director to punch that up one more time so you can see it a little bit better.
It'll miss Vidor.
It'll miss Vidor? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, you're looking at the area of rotation.
Again, this is not confirmed. This is Doppler indicated. Maybe nothing more than just a rotating thunderstorm that has not produced anything. But again, it looks like it is a good, from the center of Vidor, some 5 miles southeast of Vidor. It is heading towards the north and east at 30 miles an hour. If it holds together, then it would be pretty close to Mauriceville. Let's see if I can get a tracker on it. It is moving to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. So we'll put this into motion, and looks like it'll be there in about 15 minutes. Let me try that again since it's just radar updated. In about 15 minutes, if it holds together, would reach Mauriceville.
Patrick, thank you for that insight. Again, the area highlighted by that bright red, that is where the tornado warning is at this point. Again, it runs for another 10 minutes or so for central Orange County. Control room, pardon us, folks at home. We're trying to get in touch with Officer Carol Riley. She's been trying to call us. Can you guys try to get her on the phone?
Try to get in contact
We've
with
got
her.
some new information from Beaumont PD that she needs to get out to our viewers. So if you guys could let us know if you can get her on the phone again. Officer Carol Riley, thank you so much. Okay, so back to the radar we go. That tornado warning for Orange County until 4 o'clock this morning. Within the past couple of minutes, some new information about water coming into houses in Pear Orchard. That from our Facebook
That's in
friends.
the south end of Beaumont. And then, of course, I'm starting to see a lot more of this on the feed with people in Vidor that are starting to take in water in their homes in Vidor tonight. They're saying that, let's see, 73 west towards Houston Road is gone by Elise Playhouse in Winnie. Lots of floating cars. That's troubling to hear that, Jordan.
Yeah.
Because we know the Winnie area has taken
They
on
said
a lot
floating
of water.
cars?
Floating cars. 73 west towards Houston. The road is gone by Elise Playhouse in Winnie. Lots of floating cars.
Oh.
We pray that everyone has gotten out safely. This rain started, and it just kept going. So a lot of people feel like they were caught off guard, that they could make it to their destination.
Yesterday afternoon, we were talking to people in Sour Lake. We were talking to folks in the Finette area, and they just weren't nervous. They weren't that nervous. And unfortunately, the kind of a worst case scenario has verified at this point.
Right. And Trevor, we still want to get help to you. Try to call 911, Trevor. He said we don't know what to do at this point. Call 911, Trevor. We're going to keep tabs on you and praying for you and your family's safety, but call 911 at this point.
Okay.
And we're starting to see people reporting lots more lightning. Is picking up. Tamara Young, BISD has announced school closures for today. We're going to get some updates on school closures We pretty much figured, Jordan, that we would start to see a lot more of school districts, going ahead.
I was just checking their
making it
Facebook page.
official.
Tamara, they have not officially told us
Right.
as of this very second, but it certainly wouldn't surprise us. We understand your frustration, parents. A lot of the districts tried to go the delay route. I don't think they thought it would be
Okay,
this bad.
Elizabeth, emergency lines are down. Where are you, Elizabeth?
If you guys could be as specific as possible,
Yes.
If you're sending us Facebook messages, we will do the best to acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Trevor said they're going to stay put. He's the one that was concerned about
Good.
not
He
being able to
said
get
they're going
out.
to wait until daylight.
Good idea.
I know that the situation right now, we've been through this before. It feels scary, it looks scary, but if we can encourage you not to panic, the more information you have, the better decisions that you can make. And Patrick is working in the Weather Center trying to get the most up-to-date information.
Absolutely.
But if you're in a situation where you're in immediate danger with water coming into your house, and you feel like that it's going to be a very serious threat to you and your family, call 911. Emergency personnel are stretched right now.
They are.
So in your home, if you are in a two-story home, get to the highest level in your house, the highest level as possible.
You might not say that for folks in the tornado warned area. If
That's-
you're
well, yeah,
in
of
the
course.
tornado warned
Right,
area
Jordan, take
of
shelter.
Central Orange County, we want you on the low floor.
Right.
We want you in an interior room away from the windows. Again, that was a
Right.
Doppler indicated area of rotation, the tornado warning for Central Orange County.
No reports of anything
No.
on the ground.
It's moving
right?
northeast at 30. Patrick was saying it should miss Vida, it should miss Orange. If you're in that area in between, that's really where I would consider taking cover at this point. We're doing our best to get the information out there, and we will continue to read your comments as well.
Right. Diana, she's saying that her niece lives on in South Park on Ogden, and she sent a video. Please, if you can get that video to us, that will be great so we can show our viewers just how bad it is.
Let's take a moment. You can post it on Facebook in the Facebook feed. I would tag us at 12 News now. I would also consider if you tweet us, use our handle there, and we will do the best to share your videos. And of course, you can always submit it to us right on the app
Okay.
and send it to the newsroom.
And Mariah is telling us, Country Village Apartments off 124, all bottom apartments have 5 inches of water, and
Do we know
it's
where
still
those are?
rising. Mariah, exactly where off 124? Country Village Apartments, 124. Right, this is more video earlier from right here on the service road, I-10 in front of our station. We can see some trailers with some boats. Don't know where they're headed, don't know who these people are, but definitely you'll need a boat. You'll need a boat to get around.
We know
For sure.
how bad things appear to be in Winnie based on the comments from what we're hearing. We know about the rescues that occurred, the evacuations from the Riceland Hospital. That information came from our sister station, KHOU, and their reporter who was in the area. We don't know how the folks were evacuated, where they were taken. We are working to get more information about what's happening in the Winnie area.
Right.
As I was mentioning earlier, the Seabreeze Beacon, one of the hometown journalists there, are reporting that the Whites Park Community Building, that's Whites, ''S Park Community Building, is open as a shelter there in the Winnie area. More information on that as we can confirm it. We have not
Okay.
independently confirmed that.
Right, if we can get that number back up on the screen, the number for rescues in rural Jefferson County, 835-8411.
There it is.
Okay, 835-8411. This is the number you call. There have been water rescues going on in rural Jefferson County. This is the number to call. Call 911 in other areas. But if you're in rural Jefferson County, 835-8411. The number right there on your screen.
Okay. As we continue, obviously a breaking situation this morning as we work to learn more about the hardest hit areas. Daybreak will be telling images we probably don't want to see, but we'll share as the morning goes on.
Could you please repeat that?
Getting some information in from the control room right now. Bear
Feeder
with us
roads
for
are
just a
closed
second.
along I-10. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, but no, they said not the main part of the road. The interstate itself is open. Guys, we want to verify that because we're getting reports on Facebook from folks in the Winnie area that. Okay, TxDOT, spokesperson for TxDOT confirms the interstate itself is open, just the frontage roads that are flooded at this point.
But if you get on the interstate, I mean, how are you going to get off?
Patrick is also letting us know that
question
he's not
that-
so sure that that is
question
true.
about
Right, right.
I would check the Winnie area. We're getting reports of feet of water.
Right, and
That I-10 may be closed down
right,
near Winnie
and
is what I'm
we
saying.
don't want to.
Oh my gosh.
We don't want you to think that this is a go-ahead to get out there on the interstate
No.
at this point. We're encouraging everyone to stay home in a safe location, and if your home is taken in water right now, get to the highest level in your home and call 911.
Can we check rotation again on the tornado warning?
Sure.
There you see the polygon. Central Orange County should be expiring in 2 minutes, assuming there's not
School canceled today.
Viter school.
Yeah,
Viter
I'll make sure
ISD.
that.
Okay.
Yep.
Information is coming in.
Viter schools are canceled for Thursday.
Okay, Faye, give us a
Sally
second.
Andrews.
Patrick, we'll update you on that tornado warning.
Yeah,
Just-
tornado warning looks weak. I don't think there's one there, but there's some rotation.
Okay, so maybe some winds. Erica's got to take a quick phone call, folks. I will talk to you here. We're trying to get Carol Riley in the control room so we can speak with her live.
This call, for some reason, I'm getting a call from Viter, and many of you in Viter may be getting this call. Not sure who I'm getting, but it's an emergency alert saying shelter in place for folks in Viter. I'm gonna let you listen.
You can put on speaker there. We're having terrific.
We are working hard to respond to emergency calls only. If you have an emergency, please call 9-1-1.
All right.
Okay, that was from Viter. The number was coming in from Viter. Not quite sure why I was getting it,
Well-
but it was very informative. You heard it there for yourself. Viter to shelter in place.
Okay. We just heard from our weather trackers. They actually, our storm tracker,
Show you
apparently
something quick.
rescued somebody, and they are trying to get them to safety right now. So we'll be checking in with them in just a little bit. We understand Officer Carol Riley will be calling our control room here within moments.
Okay, Jordan, I'm
Control room.
going to break away just for one quick second.
Yep.
I'll
we
be
will,
right back.
We will continue to monitor this as you're just waking up with us, 4 a.m. And you are watching live continuing coverage on 12 News Now, our 12 News Now app, and also on Facebook as we track all of this rain right now, a flood emergency that continues for Southeast Texas as you wake up this morning for a large part of Southeast Texas. We've had a tornado warning. That's what we are zoomed in on right now with our Doppler radar, as Patrick's been tracking some rotation in central Orange County, kind of sandwiched in between Viter and Orange. That was Doppler indicated, and I'm guessing the warning will expire, or has it been reissued? We'll find out here in just a moment from Patrick. All right, as you wake up with us, new school closings coming in as we speak. We will continue to monitor those, and we will let you know once they're confirmed. There's been a lot of speculation, but clearly a lot of districts, a lot of school administrators are waking up this morning and realizing, hey, we thought we could do a 2-hour delay. Not going to happen. Viter is one of those. They were going to be an hour late this morning. They are now closed for the day. The situation is not good. We do not have firm numbers about the amount of homes or businesses that are underwater. But if you're just waking up, we want to tell you about some of the particularly hard-hit areas. Daybreak and the light of day will really offer a better idea what's going on in places like Hampshire, Fannett, places that have received, according to Patrick and to the latest radar estimates, upwards of 20 inches of rain, roughly 17 inches since 8 o'clock last night, we'll say. And so that is a very, very serious situation there. We've heard about evacuations. Winnie, especially hard hit, that part of Chambers County. You see there our 12 News app, and that is really the best place to go to get information about the school closings and delays. In Viter right now, a shelter in place. That is the message that we're hearing.
Right. Yeah, I'm back, everyone. Thanks
Okay.
so much for being so patient with me. I'm trying to keep the technology charged and going here. But yes, there is a
understand.
shelter in place and an emergency alert went out. Many of you may have gotten that on your cell phone. So shelter in place. Right now, emergency responders are overwhelmed. A lot of you are asking about school closures. Go to our website, 12newsnow.com, for that. We're looking at the situation that we're seeing in a lot of areas that people are in dire straits right now and really want to focus on getting the most information we can. We have people that are saying that they're trapped in their homes here tonight. People in Vidor, an emergency alert went out to shelter in place until someone can get to you. So we're getting information minute by minute. I mean, the situation is changing rapidly. Jordan, the rain is just, it won't stop.
We just had a pretty significant, I would say, gust of wind and burst of rain in the last couple of minutes that we could hear on our roof here at 12 News on Interstate 10 in Beaumont. Patrick is tracking this. Patrick, we've had a couple of people ask about winds picking up in the Bridge City area. What do you see in there, and anything else that would warrant a warning? No? Okay. All right.
The heaviest rain continues in a band from Montgomery County through Liberty County, and then arcs back off towards the north. Very interesting pattern of very heavy rain, and those cells continue to dump very heavy rainfall across southeast Texas. Again, this is not going to change. Bridge City is fine. I don't see any problems with winds there, or either Deweyville. And again, let me put this into motion. It just will not stop.
We're hearing it here. Patrick, while you're doing that, I do want to let folks know, if you're just waking up, 4:03 on this Thursday morning, you are watching live continuing coverage from 12 News as we track the flooding emergency here. We just got word Beaumont ISD will be closed today. Beaumont ISD, growing list of schools that have decided we're not going to do this today. Vidor among them. We are updating it right now on our 12 News Now app.
And I can hear, once again, the rain is whipping our building. We're entering into another intense moment, right, Patrick?
Yeah, it's gusty winds. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see anything tornadic per se. Let me get back to winds. Come on, load. Yeah, some gusty winds. Nothing severe.
Nothing severe. That means what? Under 40 or something?
Probably under more like under 35.
But when you've got these squall bands, if you will, the squally rain, it is clearly coming down. And I know it's scary for folks. And if you're just waking up at home saying, well, "What's going on?" We want to reassure you that there is not a tornado right now.
James is asking the chances. What are the chances of more tornado warnings? James, if you're just waking up and trying to get your bearings and figure out what's going on, we've been having tornado warnings off and on all evening.
Risk.
So
marginal risk of tornadoes.
Marginal risk. Nothing on the ground, though,
yeah,
right? Nothing on the ground.
5% chance. How about that?
I will tell you that one that we had yesterday in the Mont Belvieu area that we've been sharing images of. I mean, that was a pretty scary situation.
Okay, so we have a new video. It appears it's I-10 in Beaumont. We have an 18-wheeler that's pulled over. It looks like on the side of the highway there. I'm not sure if the driver is still inside that vehicle, but this is beginning to replay over and over again with a lot of people either abandoning their vehicles or just stopping completely and try to wait this thing out. But they have a long wait.
They've got a long wait as the rain increases. Power outages have not been a huge issue this morning, so that is worth noting, and that is good. That is one of the small consolations. Right. We've seen pockets of isolated power outages in places like Hampshire, Fannett, perhaps because of the extent of the water that's there.
Right, and the lightning as well. But like you just said, this has mainly been a rain event, not so much the wind. So that's why we're probably not experiencing as many power outages. daybreak we'll get a better look to see exactly what we have out there, because it's just hard to imagine for over 6-7 hours now that we've been getting this rainfall.
Guys, do we have the weather tracker or anything we can share? Not right now? Okay. Skycam or anything at this point would probably be helpful for us, just to kind of paint the picture as people wake up this morning. Things are not improving just yet. Here's some video from earlier where the water was just...
Right, this is once again off East Texas Freeway, much earlier. I would hate to see what that looks like right now, but Patrick was just telling us in some areas they've up to 28 inches of rain, with 17 inches of that within the last 6 hours. That was more than an hour ago.
And that was either at a weather station or a storm spotter, right?
That was a DD6 gauge.
That was a rain gauge at Drainage District 6. 28 inches for the storm total, 17.5 inches roughly in the last 6 hours.
Yeah, thank you so much, Elizabeth. We're here today. We're here for you as long as we need to be here to make sure that we can bring you the most up-to-date information to make sure your family is safe. Let's go to Carol Riley with Beaumont Police Department. Thanks for getting in touch with us, Carol. Tell us any updates out there. What are you seeing out there tonight?
Well, what we're having a problem with too many vehicles on the roadways at this time. They're stalling out, and we are trying to prioritize our manpower and send them in high water rescue vehicles to emergency situations or life-threatening emergencies first. So we are asking that you please shelter in place and seek high ground. Again, we are prioritizing the calls. Do not call 911 unless you are in a life-threatening situation. Call 409-832-1234 for other non-life-threatening situations if you're stranded and you need help, but you're not in an emergency. Seek high ground, shelter in place. You cannot make it to our hospitals at Baptist or Christus St. Elizabeth. Our roads are flooded at this time. If you have an emergency, you need to call 911 and we will help you. But do not try and drive. You cannot get on the on-ramps to our freeways, and you cannot exit. The service roads are flooded. So please be patient. Let the rain dissipate. We'll take calls one at a time. We have manpower in and plans in place. We just need you to be patient. If you have children in the house and you're worried because water is to your ankle, get them on a bed, get them on a table, put them somewhere to where they feel safe from the water.
Okay, once again, this is Officer Carol Riley with Beaumont Police Department. Thank you so much, Officer Riley. And this is citywide. You're seeing this widespread throughout the city, correct?
Yes, ma'am. We have some areas that are impacted more than others. Of course, areas that were already prone to flooding, we're flooding first. And again, we have assets in place. We're bringing in everything we can to assist our citizens, and we're just asking that you be patient. We will get to you, but we have to get to the life-threatening situations first.
Carol, any plans to open a shelter?
There are some shelter issues being taken care of. Right now, what we're doing is we're taking people that are having to be evacuated and setting them up in shelters, but we'll post more later. Right now, people can't travel to a shelter.
Right, understand. Would you be able to give us any information about the number of calls that you've had for rescues?
I would have to check. We haven't slowed down to get a number on those. We're using manpower to take calls. We haven't been able to run any kind of stats.
But you were saying that the system is just overwhelmed tonight. So if you can make it, get to the highest place you can in your home, sit tight, shelter in place is the message tonight.
Absolutely. Stay calm and be patient.
Be patient. And again, don't call 911 unless you're in a life-threatening situation, right, officer?
Thank you very much.
Officer Carol Riley from Beaumont PD, live with us on the phone this morning. And, you know, she really underscored the conversation that the you, me, and you, Patrick, and I were having just a couple of minutes ago. And that is the idea that just because the main lines of Interstate
Correct.
10 are open right now, you're not going to be able to get anywhere.
You cannot get off. And
You can't get on.
And it's not daybreak yet, so we don't know just how much water is actually on the highways as well.
Right.
Because this has been a steady rain for over 8 hours.
We have been with you live on air and on Facebook since 10 p.m. last night when we started our 10 o'clock newscast. We've had the weather tracker out, monitoring the roads, monitoring the changing conditions. Right now, our crew that's been in the weather tracker, Jordan James and Tyler Segerman, are helping someone who they had to rescue, as I understand it, who was stranded on the side of the road. So no doubt we'll be hearing from them.
Right, and they came across several people that were stranded or had abandoned their cars throughout the evening. So just like Officer Riley said, this is not the time to try and see if you can make it. You cannot make it. You just cannot make it. There's too much water out there. Don't chance it. Don't risk it. You know, just shelter in place. Yeah, we also heard, you know, what Viter sending out an alert to shelter in place. So that's what we're starting to hear now.
Okay. So if you're safe where you are, don't try to go anywhere. The other thing that stuck out from the conversation